Hey Ian, how you doing?
I'm fine.
That's good.
I was just checking out the podcast topics
Oh,
to see if we were going anywhere with this at the
we
beginning.
are actually. So, I
My nose has been so stuffy this week.
that sucks,
I think it's
man.
I think it's the mild temperature change we're going through.
Mm.
I literally wake up every day and just have to like start putting a soft pressure through my nose, just like sitting there going like through one side, and then eventually it pops open. I'm like sick. Time to
Yeah.
start picking.
You opened the 8th Bankai.
Yeah.
Nice.
Do you know Bleach is supposed to be coming back soon?
Yeah. No, I knew that.
I hope it is 24 episodes max. That would be cool. Like if it was all like Burn the Witch quality.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But you know, like everyone in Bleach is kind of like a mutant though.
Yeah. And speaking of mutants, okay, I don't remember if I said this last week on the pod or the week before or the week before that.
Last week we were camping, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I have no fucking idea what happened last week.
Yeah. Well, I on the pod, I think it might have been with George, or it might have been not on the pod and in person. But George was like, "What fucking X-Men story do you think they'll do in the MCU?" And then I, being like, "I'm a smart guy, and I want to look smart, rather, not that I'm actually smart." And so I was like, "Well, they could do God Loves Man Kills," which is like, that was me going, "That's a storyline from the X-Men Chris Claremont run that is supposed to be good." That is what I knew of it, and I said it confidently, like it was a thing I knew all about, and that they could make into a movie. And it turns out that that's what X2 is based on.
Really?
Yep.
Oh.
God Loves Man Kills. In the comics, Stryker isn't a military guy; he's a preacher.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's like he's like a kind of like a cult leader.
Going more with the
Yeah, it's
X-Men are gay.
Well,
And
yeah.
It's about the AIDS crisis.
yeah, essentially, and it's from like the actual 80s. So
Yeah.
you know, it's pretty rad. It's good. But that got me thinking. First of all, I was like, damn, I need to reconsider my knowledge of X-Men. So I'm going to read the Chris Claremont run, which is like the most famous run. And so I wanted to play a game because Chris Claremont's run is the most iconic X-Men run. And so I'm going to have you name X-Men, and I'm going to tell you whether or not they were created by Chris Claremont and how they were relate to his run. On the
Okay.
book. Or X-Men storylines, if you want to go there.
All right. I'm only going to name X-Men.
Okay.
Iceman.
Iceman? No, that's Stan Lee and Jack Kirby created Iceman.
The dude who can turn into fire.
Which, you mean like Pyro from the movies? He doesn't turn into fire, but he like does fire shit?
Yes.
Created by Chris Claremont.
There we go.
Yep.
Pretty sure this is Stan Lee and Jack Kirby, but Storm.
Nope. Chris Claremont.
Really?
Yep.
He created the best X-Men. Professor X.
No, that's Stan and Jack.
Yeah, that's what saw me. Magneto.
Or actually, okay, Storm wasn't actually created by Chris Claremont. She was created an issue before Chris Claremont took over, and it was created by a guy who was the editor for Chris Claremont, Len Wein.
Okay, but Chris Claremont wrote the character.
For the first 10 years of that character's existence, she was written by Chris Claremont.
Nightcrawler.
Same. Exact
Rogue.
same. Showed up in the same issue.
Really?
Rogue, fully Chris Claremont.
Kitty Pryde.
Kitty Pryde, fully Chris Claremont.
Colossus.
Colossus, same deal as Storm and Nightcrawler.
Toad.
Toad is Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, and I don't know.
Well, no, he could have appeared.
Possible. Honestly, I would say 50-50 Chris or before
Mystique.
Chris. Mystique, 100% Chris Claremont, baby.
Oh man, this guy's written like a ton of them.
Yeah. He wrote X-Men from the late 70s until 1993.
Quicksilver.
Quicksilver is an Avengers character, and I think it was Stan and Jack.
So would Scarlet Witch also be the same?
Yeah. Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver showed up in the Avengers first. Bless you.
Oh, thank you.
Before they were X-Men.
I'm also looking up X-Men characters right now.
Yep.
Who the fuck is Raven?
Raven?
Is that Mystique? It's a blue woman with red hair.
Yeah. Her real name's Raven something.
Oh yeah, they're giving me a lot of fucking real first names.
Yeah.
Cyclops.
Cyclops, Stan and Jack.
That makes sense. He's very old. Sabretooth.
Sabretooth, Chris Claremont.
Oh, Jubilee.
Jubilee, Chris Claremont.
I didn't know her first name was Jubilation.
Jubilation Lee is her name.
Yeah.
And okay, and let me name other things.
This is giving me like movie characters as well.
That's
like,
fine.
Just give me hot dog vendor, and it's a picture of Stan Lee.
Created by Chris Claremont. No, what's funny is I'm reading his book from the 70s. It's still really, really good. It holds up really well. But there's a bit where Cyclops and Jean Grey like make out. They're like kissing heavily, and then Stan and Jack show up, and it's like, these kids never did this in our book when we were on the book. Fucking kids these days. And
Angel.
Angel was Stan and Jack, actually. Angel's really old.
I can't remember the name of this character, but she was played by that old IGN host.
Psylocke,
there we go.
Chris Claremont.
In the worst X-Men movie.
No, there are worse X-Men movies.
You're right,
than Apocalypse.
X3 exists.
Yeah.
The like second worst.
Apocalypse is fine. Dark Phoenix sucks ass.
Dark Phoenix, I never watched it. That's how bad my sister went and saw it. And she was like, "Did you see that movie?" And I'm like, "No," because I thought it was gonna suck ass. Because like X3 tried to deal with Dark Phoenix.
Yeah, it's okay. And speaking of
Beast,
Beast, Stan and Jack, and then he became Blue and joined the Avengers during Stan and Jack's run.
Okay. Changeling.
God, I don't know. That's obscure.
He was in X-Men Volume 1, like number 40 in 1968.
So that's before it.
Yeah.
That's Stan.
I'm not reading these like blurbs. I'm just like reading the names.
The character name.
This is like the weirdest fucking list. It started with like Professor X, Cyclops, Beast, Changeling, Sway, Darwin.
Darwin's cool.
Darwin is cool. I said that one wrong. Darwin's cool, got fucked over in the movie.
Yeah. It's fucked up because his power is like, he can adapt to anything and not die, and they just kill him.
Yeah, and then also, didn't they do a similar thing to him in the comics, like, years ago, where they did put him in a situation where he should have died, but he just got, like, changed into, like, energy that eventually reformed when the threat was gone, or he got teleported, like, to a different planet?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. It was fucking stupid that he died, and it was just them trying to be, like, shock value.
Yeah.
I don't know who wrote this fucking list.
Anyway, Rogue, Gambit,
Rogue was next. I could have said her.
Oh. Rogue, and on top of that, so under Chris Claremont's run, I'm going to so not only did he do God Loves, Man Kills, he also did the Phoenix Saga.
What about the Dazzler?
Dazzler? I think Chris Claremont. He did the Phoenix Saga, the Dark Phoenix Saga, Days of Future Past.
Cable?
I believe Cable, yeah. He did he created Days of Future Past, so I think he created Cable.
Jubilee and Gambit are like the same character to me in terms of like bisexuals definitely love them.
Yeah.
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 Also, everyone loves them.
Everybody loves them, but especially bisexuals.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also they both wear overcoats.
Yeah, hers has short sleeves though.
Yeah.
Which is dumb. Actually, she rolls them up. It's better.
It's actually cool.
Yeah.
I love a rolled up sleeve on a jacket. It's such a vibe. But anyway, yeah. So if you want to go back in time and read the Chris Claremont X-Men shit, I'm really enjoying it. I'm just starting the Phoenix Saga. Because before that, so he didn't create Jean Grey, but before Chris Claremont, Jean Grey's superhero name was Marvel Girl instead of the Phoenix.
Yeah.
And her outfit looked like fucking shit. Not to insult the master Jack Kirby, because he's incredible and brilliant, but
Emma Frost's fucking hero or villain name is White Queen.
Yeah.
That's dumb.
Emma Frost also created by Chris Claremont.
Man, he must have been in charge of the X-Men for a long time.
70s to 92, baby.
Are you sure? Because this says that Emma Frost debuted in 2001.
That's not true.
I'm just reading what this says, but also...
Maybe as a member of the team? Because she was a villain before. she joined, because she was a member of the Hellfire Club. I'm saying this because I just read an issue with her in it from the fucking 70s.
All right, yeah. So this place just doesn't. This fucking website just doesn't do their research.
Or they're talking about when she joined the X-Men, because she was a member of the X-Men in the early 2000s because she was dating Cyclops.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because Jean was dead. Because Jean's very frequently dead. It's like one of the things we all know about Jean Grey.
Yeah. Is she alive?
Post Dark Phoenix Saga.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, post Dark Phoenix Saga, you're like, is Jean Grey alive? And then you roll a dice. And it's like...
Were you outside when George was just flipping that coin for like 10 minutes?
No, I wasn't. For 10 minutes?
No, it wasn't 10 minutes, but he's like, there's a way that magicians can flip a coin where it'll always come up on tails, and he flipped it for like 50 times in a row, and it was tails every time.
What? It's wild.
And I thought it was something about the motion of how he's catching it, because he was flipping it like backwards like that, then catching it with his hand, and it kept going to tails. And I'm like, try flipping it in the other way, and then catching it like this. And he twice after he did that, it was heads, and I thought I was proven right. That it was just the motion of how you flip the coin.
Yeah.
That when you go to catch it, it would just like fall into in the direction like that. Yeah. It would be more likely that you would fall and grab it or in such a way, but I was just fucking wrong.
Well, it's probably like you catch it and then like manipulate it in your hand in the second you have it, right?
Yeah, but then you would still have to know that the side you caught it on wasn't that side, or you would have to have very, very sensitive fingers. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know. It's just one of those things where we know how it's done, but you gotta have good eyes.
I'm a magician. I make my dick disappear in you.
Oh.
Anyway, this is the Media Hole. It's a weekly podcast with myself. Huh?
Namor.
Namor is not an X-Man. He's also one of the oldest Marvel characters. Yeah. He predates Marvel. He's a timely comics character. Same with Cap.
The first son of the sea.
Yeah, Namor and Captain America were both on the Invaders.
Oh.
Which was the World War II era team that fought the Nazis. Namor is also the character that Aquaman is a ripoff of, but Aquaman is a more well-liked character than Namor. Probably because Aquaman isn't a huge fucking asshole.
Yeah.
Aquaman's just a little bit of an asshole.
Finish the introduction of the fucking show.
Oh, sorry, you'd cut me off. It's a weekly podcast with me and Ian. My name's Nathan. We talk about movies and comics and video games and TV shows and all sorts of fucking nonsense, baby.
Woo! So, did you know that the last thing you would want on your Burger King burger
is someone else's foot fungus? Chills.
Yeah.
Fucking... What a baller. Also, like, I couldn't make 80 videos a week or whatever with that fucking voice.
Also, when it's, like, definitely not his real voice.
Oh, for sure. Nobody, he doesn't actually talk like that. Like, nobody on the planet does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the news. I've been watching a lot of Hassan this week.
Yeah,
just to get my news because there was a lot.
Oh yeah, I just got the Texas abortion ban.
The Texas abortion ban is horrible, but I was watching all of this shit, like his coverage of it. Pretty much him just. He was doing one of those things where he was like yelling about something that like 90% of his chat is fighting back on him about.
Yeah,
because he was talking about how he was talking. He always talks shit on like girl bosses.
Yeah.
Because they're not good people.
Mm-hmm.
But he was specifically talking about how RBJ should have retired years ago.
Yeah.
Because her staying in her position for like all those years and then if she retired like
during
2
Obama's
years before,
presidency.
Obama could have chosen another person.
Yeah.
So that's why the Republicans are stacked. And also there's tons of ways of like the U.S. The Democrats can just extend the amount of people on the Supreme Court and place 2 new appointees on the Supreme Court.
Yep.
But they won't because they're fucking cowards.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was some lady who, when there was some reporter who was just asking the fucking small-brained little dick question of like, President Biden is a Catholic himself. How does he not support the 6-week abortion ban? And the lady's just like, shut the fuck up, man. Oh, because Biden respects that women should be able to do what they want with their bodies. And also, you're never going to have a child. You're never going to have to make that decision. So suck my pussy.
Yeah.
Obviously, she was a lot more professional, but she did just girl boss him into shutting up.
Yeah. But here's my real thing.
Also, separation of church and state is a very real thing, and
Biden
Biden is actually being a better politician by following
I was like, hey, I don't know if you know this. Not every American is the specific kind of Christian that thinks abortion's bad.
Yeah.
Let alone Christians at all. So, fucking Biden being a representative of not just Christians, but all Americans, it would be deeply irresponsible of him to pass laws based on Christianity.
Yeah.
Much like how conservatives whine about fucking Sharia law all goddamn day because it's like, if we let Muslims in, they'll pass Sharia law. And it's like, actually, no, because most Americans aren't Muslim. So Muslim people are smart enough to be like, everybody doesn't need to be my thing. I can be my thing.
Also, I have never once been walking through, or I've never had a Muslim person come up to my door and try to convince me to join their religion.
Yeah.
Like,
yep. I've had fucking white people do it.
I've had tons of white people do it. I had a fucking like young white girl come up to me at like 3 houses ago now.
Yeah.
So, 4 years.
Yeah.
And fucking sit there, and she was talking to me about like some bullshit. She took really long. She talked to me for like 2 minutes straight about how she was there supporting women's rights and whatever. And then she hits me with, so anyways, would you sign this that is a petition to end abortion in Canada? And I just said, oh, I don't believe in what anything you just said, and I'm just going to close the door now. And she's like, but, and I'm like, no, I don't believe this. Bye. I would like to fucking...
It's pro-women's rights to take one away from them.
Yeah. And I was just like, no, I'd like women to get babies removed from their pussies.
More often.
And I know that's not actually where the baby is stored, but guess what? I apparently know more about the female reproductive fucking cycle than you do.
Pee is stored in the balls. Baby stored in the pussy.
Yeah.
It's just a fact.
As it is.
And if you're gonna eat your girl out, you gotta eat out the arm pussy.
Fallopian tubes, and it rests there.
That was a good joke I made last night.
Which one?
The
arm pussy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had Ian and a couple of other friends over last night for a board game night.
Too many friends over for a board game night.
A little bit too many. But
next time you should say a board game that we should play, and then say who wants to play it. By the way, this is what we are playing, and if you choose to come, that means you are taking a spot.
Emily asked for the board game night, and I said I'd do it at my place because I have the board games and I have the table, and my mom's not home.
I'm sure Emily also was like, oh, the board game that we played was fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, yeah. I mean, fucking Secret Hitler's
that
fun.
First round was so ass. My fucking fellow fascists were the dumbest people in the world.
And then the second round, I let you win, or didn't let you win.
No,
I
we
got
won
you
the
to win.
third round.
Oh, we won on the third round.
The second round, I was liberal.
I got George to win.
Yeah, you got George to win, and it was just like it just happened. Like no one was doing anything, and I'm like, I can't fight this or anything at all.
Yeah.
So I just fucking there was nothing for me to do.
Yeah. The second round, I was like, we're going to plan. I'm going to let George know who the other two people are. You were Hitler the third round, and I was like, I can't really give him any info. Oh, well.
Yeah.
I just let you win. Because you were like, well, actually, I handed you the thing, and you were like, everybody voted. And I was like, okay, we're going to go on it. And you're like, well, actually... Nathan, you fucking idiot.
I didn't say that.
Like, no, but you said it that. Like that. You were like, I tricked Nate, and I was like, we're Hitler, baby.
I did not.
Hell yeah.
I did not intend to say it like that.
Yeah.
I more meant to say it to the rest of the people, like, well, actually, you dumb bozos. Some of you just lost the game because I'm Hitler.
I like that board game. It's great. But anyway, we were making jokes, and I talked about eating arm pussy, and like Ian doesn't usually laugh at my jokes, but that one, he like legitimately had to take his glasses off.
It was very funny. I had to hold my eyes and shit. My mom is being super annoying.
Your mom?
I know this is not new.
It's not news, yeah.
But not news, but I mean not a new thing that happens.
Yeah.
She fucking texted me today, and she's like, do I have to come over there to see if you're still alive? And I'm like, no, fuck off, I'm alive. And she's like, said like, oh, you're not holding up your end of the bargain. It texts me every day. And I'm like, I never agreed to that. I'm not your daughter who does do that. So thanks, my eldest sister, for starting a fucking precedent.
Yeah.
She keeps bothering me, and then she's like, dinner tomorrow, and I'm like, I already know that. I just didn't reply to her, and she's still like texting me. She's like, are you there? Why aren't you answering me? It's like, because I'm fucking busy.
Yeah, you live alone. You don't need to.
I'm just ignoring her now.
Shit.
I'm gonna give her shit tomorrow. I'm gonna read these texts out to my 2 siblings that will be there because my brother is not allowed inside the house anymore.
Mm-hmm. It's funny. The arc goes allowed inside, not allowed inside, allowed inside, not allowed inside.
Yeah, it's almost as if he's in lockdown of some sort because he won't get vaccinated.
Well, no, I mean like in the history of his lifetime. Because he got kicked out of the house
multiple times
when he was a kid. But like semi-permanently at one point, right?
Yeah. And then he got together
at like
with
16 or 17.
No, the first time he got kicked out, he was like 17, about to turn 18.
Oh.
Then he didn't come back for a few years, and then he came back and lived, and then my mom was like, you're being disrespectful again, get out. And he was like, okay. The first time he got kicked out, it was a huge deal.
Yeah.
Every other time, he was just like, all right, I guess I'll go back to living in the crack house because I'm a hardcore drug dealer. Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd think he'd be. You know what's coming for us soon, though?
I was just going to say he was willing to put so much shit in his body, but not a vaccine approved by the FDA.
Yeah, because the things he was putting in his body have existed for over 15 years.
Crack cocaine, baby. You could trust it. It's lived for a long time.
Yeah. So, anyways, unless there's a huge upset in the next few weeks, we're going to have vaccination passports by the end of September. Or, as they have always been called, immunization records.
Yeah.
Which is now it's just going to be required to go to places.
Yeah, but okay, immunization records are different because a vaccine passport is something you have to show like ID.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's a vaccine passport, but it's just an immunization record. Except, imagine if you went like years ago, they could have just decided like, hey, a gym,
you can't come in here unless you have been vaccinated for tetanus.
Yeah, or that also. I'm surprised that's not a thing. I guess when you get health insurance. Mm-hmm. Through like work and whatever, they can go get like that basic information from your healthcare. Well, from the government, or healthcare, they can't get everything, but they can get some stuff. Which they didn't fucking actually give me any shit when I didn't have a tetanus shot in like over 20 years.
Oh,
yeah, I got one when I cut my hand. That's why I went to the hospital. Yeah, so we're definitely gonna have that soon. But I saw a dumbass post from someone's little brother. Really? About how Russia apparently tried to do vaccination passports, and within 2 to 3 weeks, their entire economy collapsed. You know, the worldwide news scenario we definitely have all heard of, a thing that for real happened and not someone coming up with a concept.
Yeah.
Because Russia saying you need to have a vaccine passport to come in, it was just like, oh, people stopped going to the places when they required them to have the vaccine passports. It's like, so you're telling me 100% of the population, when they were told they needed to have a vaccination passport, since we're just keep using that as a buzzword to like make it sound like it's so different from shit we already do.
Wait, hold on. But wouldn't that not follow the thing that conservatives love to say when we say we need to place restrictions on guns? When you talk about, well, Australia banned guns, and they've had like one school shooting or one mass shooting since they banned guns. They always say, well, Australia has a different culture than America and Canada.
Yeah. So, Russia has a different culture than America and Canada.
And also, well, Russians might tank their economy. Also,
America already has vaccine passports.
Yeah.
Like, every single one of my friends in Ohio, shout out, as the fucking Destiny showed me, she has a card that says she has been vaccinated. Unfortunately, it is an actual just piece of paper, which is stupid, and you're not allowed to laminate it.
What?
Yeah. If you laminate it, it becomes invalid.
It should at least be laminated.
It's like, because it's just a thing you would get from your doctor once you got your second shot.
My big worry about it is that it's going to be a pain in the ass, because I've been double vaxxed for a month.
I've been double vaxxed for like 2 months now. Actually, longer.
Wait, really? Okay, hold on.
I got my second shot in June. Like June 9th.
Excuse me.
And we're in the 9th month of the year. And June is the 6th.
Damn, has it been 2 months? Maybe it's been 2 months since I got mine too.
Yeah. It's just that summer passed by pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think what they really should do is honestly just make it like a crazy sticker that you pop onto your driver's license or your like.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna look at my.
Or any other ID that you have. Health card?
I would say health card because one, we already carry around. If you're not a Canadian, you might not know.
A health card is a piece of identification that lets you
like my
access
shit.
Health.
It is, yeah. It lets you access all of your health things. If you like get in a car accident and die,
yep.
It says if you're a donor or not.
Mm-hmm.
But oh yeah, there's the space right at the top there.
Yeah.
You could absolutely just be like, pop a sticker in, and then we'll send you a permanent one in the mail or something.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, there's
COVID vax Y/N.
Yeah, our license is pretty like actually. There's space on the back, but on the front, it's pretty packed.
Yeah.
So we could,
and also,
not
everyone has a driver's license,
but everyone who is a Canadian citizen
has a health card.
Canadian citizen in Ontario. This is specifically OHIP.
It's stupid that
which is Ontario Health.
It's stupid that we can't. For whatever reason, you can't accept health card as identification in a lot of places.
Dumb. Well, do you know why? It's because back in the day, even my dad still had it for years. Mm-hmm. They just had that red health card that never expired.
It never had a sticker. It didn't
have
a photo.
It never had a photo, so it never mattered. It was like the same as using your credit card as an ID.
Yeah. Where
like you can use that as a second. Now you can use a health card as a secondary form of identification.
ID, but you need two.
Yeah. So it's like you need a driver's license or passport for your first one, always.
Yep. Or Ontario photo card, which is like a driver's license for people that don't have a driver's license.
Yeah. It's just like an Ontario ID.
Yeah.
Yeah. My mom has one.
Oh, yeah? That makes sense. It's purple.
Yeah. It's purple. It's got like a little cut on the
cut
side
edge,
of it
yeah.
To really show that this
I didn't know they existed until I started working at the bank all those years ago.
Yeah?
Yeah, because people would come in with them.
They were a pretty new thing. I think they came around like 2010.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but anyways, vaccine passports. Can't wait for them.
That I can wait for them, but they're fine. I don't think they're a problem. It's just going to be a pain in my ass.
You did do like a little rant yesterday about how pretty much the person it's going to hurt the most of our friends is Emma.
Oh, yeah, no. I did a little rant where it's like, you're going to need to get your vaccine passport checked. And I'm like, yes, our frontline workers who we've called heroes for a year
and
but
are no longer getting benefits.
Yeah, who are still fucking working their asses off for minimum wage or maybe slightly more or whatever. And now they're going to not only have to deal with over a year living in the most stressful situation possible at their job, but deal with now even more angry people being even more unreasonable for even less pay.
What every government, local government should do is let cops be useful for once, and just let's have them go be glorified security guards at every bank and, I don't know, restaurant. Obviously, that's maybe one too many. But, like, definitely every bank or, like, just to have them outside and be like, no, you are going to show me your vaccination passport or I'm not allowing you in this building.
Or
give them money so that they can go get, the government can hand out a little bit of cash.
Yeah.
So that everyone can hire, like, security guards and shit.
I don't know if this is true about Canadian cops, so don't quote me on this. But, the number one killer of cops in the last like year or so has been COVID, because there's like such a large fucking faction of police, at least in the US, that are anti-vaxxers. It's like such a huge percentage. Oh yeah. It's such a huge percentage of police are anti-vaxxers.
Yeah, I saw this one fucking...
I don't know if that's true here, but I would believe it.
I saw this one story about this lady on an airplane, and that her like seat neighbor or something wasn't wearing a mask, and the flight attendant had to go over and be like, yeah, I know it's a little bullshit, like we really shouldn't have to do this anymore because like it's not true, but like you gotta for the airplane, I'm sorry buddy. And it's like, no, don't fucking get down to this man's level and be like, yeah buddy, you're the real free thinker here.
Okay, here's my defense of that. Doing that might actually make him do it and not yell at people.
You're right. Maybe she is just playing big brain mode. Yeah. But the fact is that she's still like
it's
letting
shitty
this
to say
crazy person
it's
believe
shitty to say it, but also like as somebody who's been there, yes, you partially agree with someone to make them more likely to do what you ask them. That's just good tactics.
Yeah, I guess.
And that's what I choose to believe, because I want to believe the world is a better place than it is. But yeah, anyway, don't ban abortion. It's bad to do it.
Yeah.
Just don't get one. 6 weeks is fucking ridiculous. Dude, like,
Women
with
don't know
no
they're pregnant.
exceptions
At the earliest, when you're constantly checking, you won't know until you're like 4.5 weeks in.
Yeah. And on top of that, there's already restrictions that make you have a mandatory waiting period, right? There's already so much bullshit in place.
Yeah.
And on top of that, fucking 6 weeks with no exceptions for rape and no exceptions for incest is fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, an incest, you could argue most of the time is actually just a different form of rape. But, like 9 out of 10 times. And, like, this affects a lot of fucking people, and it's fucking so stupid. It's like,
look, the center left people are coming out with George Carlin clips now.
great.
He had no clip about abortion.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure it's probably him just in George Carlin's very raspy, funny voice way of saying, you
Let
either have a
people do
doctor do it or they're going to do it.
Yeah. It's what people did. I mean, fucking George Carlin, like, not everything he did aged perfectly, but a lot of it did.
But then also, like, it's one of those actually at the times.
Yeah.
Very daring and revolutionary thing to say. But now some of them, the ones that are like, you can tell they've aged poorly when a conservative talks about it.
Yeah.
But then, like, when a liberal brings it up, I'm like, oh, this is the one that's still accurate. Where the one, like, the clip where he's on, like, CNN in the 90s talking about how, like, it's not funny to punch down in comedy.
Yeah.
Like, it never is. And then, like, people nowadays go like, oh, cancel culture. Cancel culture would have came for George Carlin. I'm like, cancel culture's not coming for that many people that
George
you think
Carlin,
it is.
yeah, on CNN talked shit about Andrew Dice Clay for making fun of black people.
Yeah.
Like,
Hickory dickory dock, those black dudes got big cocks.
I was like, what is that you making shit up?
That was an Andrew Dice Clay thing.
Are you
It didn't
fucking
actually say these black dudes got big cocks, but he had a thing where he would be like, hickory dickory dock.
Yeah. But
The
like,
Dice Man. Yeah, I don't know. I think the 90s was like, you either were the best comedian or the fucking worst. Like, Dave Chappelle, great. In the 90s specifically.
okay.
He's just okay now.
Yeah.
Because also we have better options now.
Yeah.
But it's the nostalgia. George Carlin, great.
Yeah.
That guy who died of a drug overdose.
Which one?
Oh, man. Mitch Hedberg. Great. But then the ones that made it to the 2000s.
Yeah.
The ones who, well, like Dave Chappelle took like 10 years off because he went crazy from stress.
Yeah.
But like, George Carlin died of old age.
Yeah.
The people, people who fuck off, they're the ones who are cool. The ones who like desperately stick around, awful.
That's why I think, like, and
Is
not
Louis
just
Black still alive?
who?
Louis
Yeah,
Black.
yeah. I mean, he's still around, but he's also a mid 2000s guy.
I don't think so. He was like definitely 90s.
I'm sure, but like
He started
he got
in-
really popular in the mid 2000s.
Yeah, when he had like his own TV show and shit.
Yeah. The real one that I think is going to like last for a long time and people will come back to, like, we're talking about George Carlin now, and I think whatever in 20, 30 years,
Yeah.
it's going to be the same for this person is fucking Bo Burnham.
I don't think so.
I think
there's already people turning around and hating Bo Burnham now.
Yeah, I mean, people hated George Carlin at the time for saying all that shit too.
Yeah, but the internet's different, and Bo Burnham's comedy is more like about right now stuff.
Yeah, but
Everything all the time will... okay, in terms of stuff from inside,
yeah,
everything all the time will probably age very well.
yeah,
Jeff Bezos will probably age very well, unfortunately.
yeah. I think
But shit like white woman's Instagram,
no, but I'm not saying
sexting...
right, but a lot of George Carlin's jokes were about the 90s, like, were about the time as well, but you go back and you're like, oh, I can still put myself there. And also, I mean, Inside is more about being inside his head.
Uh-huh.
But, like, I'm talking even his earlier stuff, like What, and Make Happy. and his movie 8th Grade, like, even though those are like of the time that they're in, like, people are going to come back to that shit and be like, in 20, 30 years, and be like, oh shit, this is still brilliant. Like, I could see it because it's very much like how, I mean, like, fuck, that song he did at the end of Words, which is like early shit for him that I'm sure he's like embarrassed of a lot of things in that special. But like Art is Dead speaks to the fucking heart of people who make things.
All right, sure.
Okay, you don't have to say it like that.
I just don't know what, like, it's just not something I agree with.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay.
Anyways.
Yep.
All comedy sucks.
That's true. I agree with that.
Yeah. I saw a TikTok where they were talking about, this guy was talking about comedians he just didn't think were funny. And he was correct about a couple of them. Mm-hmm. Like, he opened with talking shit on John Oliver.
Really?
Specifically how every joke on John Oliver is just like him looking at a picture and then talking about like in a hypothetical scenario where he just like yells over, I don't know. It's like he's like, there's a picture of a hamster. He's like, that's like if that hamster was in a 3-way with another hamster, but not that hamster because he's too thick. And it's like, okay, yeah, I get the cadence.
Yeah, I guess. But
and then he went on
John
to talking
at
the end. He was like, he honestly, everyone else he was like making fun of and talking shit on, but then he ended with Bo Burnham.
Yeah.
But then his whole stance was more about like, if you hate Bo Burnham now, but like John Mulaney shit, you're a fucking idiot. It's just like, I get that. I understand what you mean there. I like John Mulaney. I really hope he comes back as like his next stand-up he does or whatever. Yeah. If he decides to ever do one again. He comes back, he's like in a leather jacket, and he tries to play it up like he's a bad boy now. For like a meta bit. I think that would be funny.
His TV show was ass.
Which one?
The fucking Mulaney show.
Oh yeah. Well, that's because don't just give like one comedian a show and call like name it after them. That's such a 90s thing to do.
I mean, it worked. Yeah. Okay. If I'm thinking the people who do that and do it well,
Kroll Show was a sketch show.
Yeah.
So that's different. And also he very frequently featured other people. Like Key and Peele is an ensemble duo, but also is a sketch show.
But to be like, okay, what's the equivalent of a Mulaney type show with a or a Seinfeld type show with a modern comedian? Louis was really popular and good. Not going to say anything about the man. I don't think the show was very good either. The show was very well liked at the time. It was very critically acclaimed.
Yeah. It just happened to come out at the same time as better shows. Well, or was on at the same time as better shows like It's Always Sunny and Curb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess, but like, okay. So yeah, there's Louis. I mean, Mulaney's like a weird, not that good show. But I'm trying to think of other ones that were like, this is a TV show with a comedian. I can talk about the short-lived Bo Burnham MTV show Zach Stone is going to be famous, which is fucking great, super underrated.
But it was also very weird for the time.
It's so weird. It's like that's what makes it good.
It's one of those shows where, like, you know how like Riverdale is a show about like all these kids are supposed to be like either fucking super popular or super nerdy, but then they're all like ripped, chill, like hot people.
Zach Stone is going to be famous as the opposite of that
exactly.
Show.
Where it's like this guy is not popular and not well liked, and also he's a giant fucking weirdo.
Yeah. Like there's that clip, I forget the fucking joke, but it's like well, there's also you told fucking you made fun of her and called her poor or whatever. Like it's like
yeah,
like he's somebody who wants to be this vain celebrity. It's great. I mean, it's a great show about a fucking
I haven't watched the show,
man.
But I heard it's good. Also got 3 seasons, so I assume it's not bad. Is Crashing. But it's like,
is that the Pete Holmes one?
Yeah,
that's fucking sucks.
Why? Did you watch it?
Okay, I don't think Pete Holmes is very funny.
That's respectable. Pete Holmes laughs at his own jokes way too much. That's not his life.
No, that's not his laugh, but that's his face when he laughs.
No, he doesn't put his tongue out. No, he's very teethy.
He's got just a dumb face. I don't like.
I'm not going to disagree. Is what I was trying to get out there. There's an episode of How Did This Get Made? Like,
he also has the worst. When he was making that quote, he also had making that show. He had the worst fucking quote in the world because it's such a this guy's not like a writer. He's a fucking comedian and he's dumb. and he doesn't know shit about writing. Is he's like, when I make a TV show and all the characters are comedians, you can just have it be funny because they're comedians.
That's like the opposite. It's like, fucking Dan Harmon, like later on when he got a bit lazier with Community, he's like, Donald says something funny here.
Yeah.
But that's 4 seasons into
No.
Community.
He's not saying I just put improv. He's saying
you can write bad, but the comedians will make it funny.
No. There is an excuse for characters to make jokes. Because when characters aren't comedians, like the character's job isn't a comedian in a TV show, then they can't be funny, according to Pete Holmes. Because what? Like a fucking
nothing.
guy who works in an office can't be funny?
Yeah.
It's stupid. It's such a dumb thing. It's like, watch a TV show. Like, you fucking, I feel like crashing is like the definition of like jumping onto that bandwagon of that type of show.
That's also, but at least that's like people were more interested in like Pete Holmes' like life story he went through, because that's just an autobiographical thing.
Mulaney's show was like supposed to be more like that, but Mulaney wasn't in a place where he could write about his alcohol and drug addiction in like a way that was competent.
Yeah, didn't it turn out to just be more like a normal sitcom or something?
It became one. Like, and it's funny because like the characters that make it more of a sitcom are like the best ones, because it's Martin Short.
Oh yeah,
and he's great, because he's Martin Short and he's like a funny guy.
I wonder if that's how they got Steve Martin for Oh Hello on Broadway.
Probably
because Martin and Short, or like
Martin Short.
They have that thing.
Yeah,
my mom showed me they're like, because they do Broadway shows now together.
Yeah,
and my mom showed me like, these are the funniest men in comedy, and I'm like, for you.
They're not bad.
They're not bad, but they're also like
old.
But their whole bit is their opening is that they both talk about each other like they're the successful one and the other one's the fuck up, that they are just like pulling along with them behind them, like they're the one, like they're saying each one is riding each other's coattails.
Is it in a self-deprecating way or in a self-aggrandizing way? Which one's the joke? Like
aggrandizing.
Okay.
It's constantly like Steve
they're like,
Martin going
I'm
like,
famous and he's a fucking idiot.
Yeah, and then it cuts to Martin Short. It was like Steve Martin who's like, I was in Cheaper by the Dozen and I just let this little fucking loser chase behind me.
Yeah.
And Martin Short's like, and I let him believe that.
Oh yeah. Okay, that's funny.
It's not bad, but it goes on for too long. It's like, Rule of Threes in comedy.
I want to watch that show.
It was like 30 minutes of that.
Okay, I want to watch that show that they made with Selena Gomez, The Only Murders in the Building. Apparently that's supposed to be really fun.
Like a newer show?
Yeah, it just came out.
I like Steve Martin.
Yeah.
Oh my god, he's 76.
Yeah, of course. He's ancient.
He's ancient.
Yeah.
He's just like, he seems like...
He was
If he was 76... If he's 76 today, that means when he made Cheaper by the Dozen in like 2005.
2003, I think.
2003. That was 18 years ago. He was 56?
Yeah, like a regular...
58.
That's like a dad age. Older.
I guess actually the kids in that show...
Because some of them are adults.
Yeah, they weren't that old. I mean, they weren't that young.
Yeah, I mean, some of them were really young and some of them were quite old.
Yeah.
So, makes sense. I was going to say Steve Martin was in the Muppet movie, and he was an adult in the Muppet movie, which was the 70s.
You know what? I think it's one of those things where it's like, how you look at a bald actor and you're like, wow, they're that old?
Yeah.
But also you're like, wow, they're that young?
Wow, Patrick Stewart has looked almost exactly the same since the 80s.
Same with like Jason Statham.
Yeah.
People, when I was in the How Did This Get Made episode where they talked about this fucking Jason Statham movie where he plays the villain.
Yeah.
But it's like he's supposed to be like an LA native, but he didn't do an American voice. It's still Jason Statham. And so that was a joke that I missed later on when they talked about Hobbs and Shaw, where they were like, Jason Statham, famously LA native.
That's funny.
But, yeah, that was like in 2007. And then they were looking at Hobbs and Shaw. And Jason Statham was like 54 now.
Oh, yeah?
And they were like, I thought he was like mid-40s. Not that big of a difference, but Steve Martin, he's been gray since he was
Jason
20.
Statham has looked about 40 his whole life.
Mm-hmm.
Since he came out the pussy.
Yeah, if you go back and look at like the Italian Job or whatever, he probably, I would be like, that's a 40-year-old man. And I think he was like 30 in that movie.
Yeah. Again, Jason Statham popped out the pussy 40 years old, and he's been 40 years old for about 50 years.
The only bald man that I actually am really seeing them like age is Vin Diesel.
Yeah.
Like Bruce Willis, once he shaved his head, Bruce Willis since fucking Die Hard 4 has been the same age.
Yeah.
Since 2008, he has looked the same.
He's just gotten like more and more grumpy.
Yeah.
That's how he expresses his aging. Is just like being more and more grumpy and getting less and less good work because fewer people want to deal with his shit.
Yeah. Also, Jason Statham was fucking in the Olympics.
Oh yeah, he was.
Yeah. Which is always funny. Especially diving. It's such a weird one. Like, how do you get into diving?
You just do it.
Like, if I ever met Cody Ko, that's the first thing I'd ask him. Like, what made you do diving when you were in high school that put you on, like, an Olympic track to be on, like, Canada's Olympic team, but then fucked up because you hurt your back?
Cody Ko is Canadian?
Cody Ko is from Alberta. His dad is actually, like, a fucking triathlon medalist. His name's, like, Greg Kotoleski or something.
Do you know who I managed to determine was Canadian?
Who? Also, Noel Miller is actually technically Canadian.
Oh, yeah?
He was born in Toronto, but he moved to, like, LA when he was, like, 4 or 5.
We keep those.
We take credit.
Yeah, we take
Cody Ko at least, like, was there until he went to college. Mm-hmm. But, Noel, we're just taking credit.
Yeah, and I mean, we're also taking credit for Simu Liu, but he's a legit, like, he's a Canadian.
Well, he lives here.
Yeah, well, he lived here for a long time. He lives in LA now.
I don't want to take credit for Drake anymore.
No.
Because he doesn't even want to live here anymore.
Doesn't he?
He comes here for he comes here for the summer. Yeah. He lives in LA the rest of the year.
I mean, that's what I would do if I was Drake.
I don't know. I'd probably stay here.
For the winter?
I like winter.
I fucking can't stand winter.
That's
Canada's
fine.
Only nice in the summer.
What about the fall? Yeah, the fall as well. Spring's not bad.
Spring takes forever to start.
But it also depends on the year because sometimes spring is like super rainy, or sometimes it's immediately summer, and it's like we got long summer.
Yeah. So spring rarely happens. We get fall, we get winter, and we get summer.
So Cody Ko's dad
is
a Canadian cyclist who has held several world records on recumbent bicycles and pedal-powered boats.
Damn. What I was going to say is
Fort St. John, British Columbia.
Ooh. I determined recently that Crony, one of the new Hololive EN members, is Canadian.
You think so?
In the Gardic Phone collab, she had to draw macaroni and cheese. And the fucking
She wrote
box
KD?
said
She wrote
KD!
Yes!
Canadian! We count those!
I explained this to the Americans a lot. That we don't call it craft dinner, we call it KD.
Yeah.
It's just how it is.
Gotta be KD. I mean, we say craft dinner and we say KD. But it's,
So I saw this one comedian last
night.
They
call it craft macaroni and cheese.
I saw this one comedian last night whose joke was that when Kawhi was thinking about leaving Toronto, they sent Drake to be like, hey man, go convince him to stay. And he was like, you can't even convince Drake to stay. 6 months of the year he lives in LA. Like, who the fuck?
Yeah, but not 12. So I would call that a win. That counts. We keep those.
I guess the basketball season's only on for 6 months, and it's normally during the summer.
And again, I would fucking do the same. Winter sucks. If you're rich and you're like, I have supercars and I can afford having fucking multiple mansions in multiple countries, like, yeah, you're gonna fucking live in LA and in T-Dot.
Sure.
I don't know.
You're a big jerk and you're anti-Canadian?
Okay. What if he lived in the Turks and Caicos? Because that's a Canadian territory.
Better. It's like if you want to be an American who lives in a tropical place, you go to fucking Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
And then get robbed on a street corner.
I mean,
there's apparently a very bad street in Puerto Rico where people just don't stop. Like stop signs, stoplights, whatever, you just drive right through. Like,
that's fucked up.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's like,
because it's one of those things where it's like, if you stop, there is a 99.9% chance you are getting robbed. The only time you will not get robbed is when there's another car in front of you that stopped.
And it's a nicer car.
Well, no, it's just that they were first. Yeah.
I mean, I would pay attention to the make and model. And be like, the guy in the Mercedes probably deserves it a bit more.
No one deserves it. It's a Mercedes. It's not like it's a fucking McLaren.
Yeah.
If it was a McLaren, or if a guy with an Aston Martin rolls through in Puerto Rico, you deserve it.
Yeah. No, I'm saying, like, that street existing that way is a function of poverty.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, that's like one of those things where it's like, I get, like, sure, yeah. I mean, it sucks to be robbed. I'm not going to say it doesn't. But also, like, maybe, I don't know, the government should have helped them when natural disasters hit Puerto Rico.
Yeah, but I'm not the government.
Yeah.
Why is that my fault? Why should I get robbed?
It's not really your fault, but ultimately people need to not be poor.
That's why I just don't carry cash.
Yeah.
What are you going to get from me? My iPhone, which has a tracker on it? Please don't take it from me. Or I'd just be like, oh, it's broken.
You don't want it.
You don't want it. There's a ton of child porn on it, and as soon as you take it from me, I will alert the FBI.
Fucking got him.
That's it. That's big brain plays. In a hidden folder, I have a picture of my cock, and then a 17-year-old in a risque scenario that got pulled off of TikTok, and I will call it child porn.
The new fucking Suicide Squad movie is like, recently this professional hacking syndicate has revealed that they have sent ticking time bombs of child porn to every member of the American government. You need to neutralize all of these this hacker group before this time limit goes out, or else the entire fucking world is going to see that they're pedophiles.
And then Rick Flag opens up the fucking thing, and he's like, "Wait a second, it was already there.
It was already on the phones."
All right, maybe we should actually talk about the news.
That's fucking funny.
So what the fuck is this about Lost Judgment DLC?
Oh, okay, you didn't hear about this. That's awesome.
No, I didn't.
So they revealed that they're doing DLC for Lost Judgment. So there's like some stuff, as always, that's bullshit.
Yakuza 7 DLC.
No, there's they revealed.
I meant like as in that you get to like. I think it would be for Lost Judgment. You don't have the characters meet.
Yeah.
Unless it's like a huge part of the story.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, Yagami could meet up with the cop guy.
Yeah.
Adachi.
Yeah.
Or even it's just that Kyle said people can head over whenever.
Okay, sick.
Or even like literally anyone in the group, not the women, because unfortunately they're kind of boring, which sucks.
I mean, Eri is like not even a character.
Yeah, she's literally like you might want to get her just so you can make the Kiryu fight later on easier.
Like I would say, yeah, I would say like, oh god, what's her name? Samia?
Psycho.
She's a character. Like, I like her arc and shit.
Yeah.
Like,
I like, but also her, yeah, I guess her arc of going, like, I guess I'll tag along to find out who murdered my boss.
Yeah.
Which is what the rest of you are doing. Mm-hmm. But then it turns into, I guess I fucking kind of have a thing for the main character.
Ichiban.
But then so does everyone else, because she's in the harem ending.
Yeah.
Which, absolutely, she's like number 1.
Yeah.
But the romance workshop girl is number 2.
She's cool.
Yeah. I just like...
What about the ghost girl, Ian?
Ghost girl?
The girl who's a ghost from that one side mission.
I'm talking specifically a romance.
Oh, okay. I'm like... She counts.
Yeah.
But no, what I was going to say is they announced it, and they're like, hey, in early 2022, we're going to release a DLC called Kaito's Story, where you play as Kaito.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It better be fucking more substantial than what they did with Majima and Kiwami 2.
It's probably going to be about that.
Yeah, maybe.
That would be the expectation. They're also like, hey, we're adding DLC that's going to include... There's other DLC coming out in between that's like, hey, this is going to include like more mini games, more games for your Sega Mega Drive, more girls to date. Yeah. Because
the Detective Essentials pack allows you to fight Super Shinamon.
Super Shinamon.
I really hope that, man, either I want them to add a third fighting... This is what I want them to do.
They've added a new fighting style.
Okay, cool. Because that's what I was going to say, is a third fighting style, or make it one fighting style.
They've added a new fighting style for this version.
Because
that was in the trailer.
I don't pay attention to the trailers. Well, their trailers are fucking 20 minutes long.
No, it was in like the first 2-minute like announced trailer.
That's
or 4-minute or whatever.
Gameplay, whatever. It's fine.
There was gameplay in that trailer.
Whatever. So I just think that like When you have 3, there's actually different scenarios where it's worthwhile. With the 2, it was like just use the red one the whole time.
Yeah.
Because the blue one was supposed to be for big crowds, but this was earlier in the Dragon Engine.
Yeah.
This was like the second Dragon Engine game, I think. What came first, Kiwami 2 or Judgment?
Kiwami 2.
Are you sure that's just not Western release dates?
It comes out in the same order in both.
Are you sure? Because I feel like Judgment was like weirdly delayed. I'm just gonna.
Judgment wasn't delayed. It's that Judgment.
No, that the translation was delayed. 2018.
Judgment. No, actually, like all of the Yakuza games since 0, the translation time has gotten shorter and shorter.
Yeah, I know.
Except for Like a Dragon.
Yeah, Like a Dragon came out side by side. Except
No. It came out like months late. It came out in November.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
And it came out in January in Japan. It took longer than Judgment. Judgment was quick. Judgment was released in December in Japan, and then came out in like April or May.
I think they might have just put
June.
like more effort into it because it's like it's a standalone.
Yeah, it's not more effort thing. I think Like a Dragon is just a much larger game, and also
there's a lot more talking.
Yeah, and also COVID happened during localization for Like a Dragon. So
yeah,
Lost Judgment is the first game that's getting dual release simultaneous.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, which is fucking rad.
More detective dogs.
Ooh.
Yeah, so new skateboard and skate park, cool. New Sky Spider drone, boo. But then also they have extract recipes as like a sub thing for the Sky Spider drone, and that doesn't make sense to me.
Oh.
Because the extract recipes you could get in Judgment 1 was like dumb shit.
I don't remember it.
It was a DLC that you actually just had to buy on the side, and I was bored and I bought it.
Oh.
And it gave you shit. They were like reusable extracts and shit. Like they were on a cooldown, like a 6-minute cooldown, where it would be like, oh, you do more damage, or you can like you zip around and you have like lightning kicks and shit.
That's rad.
Yeah. Additional girlfriends.
Yep.
And then the School Stories expansion spec is a new motorcycle.
I love that. Like, okay, can I be honest?
New
the
dance
fact,
outfit,
the things
sweeter
that are,
dance moves.
Yeah, the things that are mentioned in this are like new motorcycle.
Right,
well, I didn't know you could have a motorcycle.
This is a mild spoiler now.
Yeah,
because it says the people you can spar with.
Mm-hmm.
And you know how he's crying over someone.
Yeah,
he's absolutely not crying for your friend, or you're not crying over Kaido for sure. You're not crying over the parkour guy.
Yeah.
I think it's Sugihira. And you're not crying over Higashi. Because they're sparable companions in the DLC.
So it's probably the girlfriend?
I think it's either the girlfriend or the younger kid in the...
Okay, I gotta run. I gotta go fart solids.
A few inches later.
Did you see that fucking Squeenix dropped another new game without saying anything?
What
or
game?
like a new game trailer.
What?
It was something called like Project Magnum.
Ooh.
And it looked really good, but it's fucking Schluter.
No, never mind then.
Yeah.
They've lost my fucking respect for that genre.
Did they ever really have it? Let's be fair. The genre was created by Borderlands.
Marvel's Avengers. I was like,
oh yeah, I guess.
And then they fucked it. So yeah, I'm not gonna trust them again.
Yeah, the game looks really pretty though.
Yeah.
Let me see. Who's it actually by? I said Square Enix because it looked like one, but I think I was just lying.
Oh.
If I showed you the trailer without the fucking like lead in at the beginning, you would just be like, "Yeah, that looks like a Square Enix game."
Is it like it looks like IDOS and like that sort of arm of Square Enix? You mean like the Western side, or
I would say it looks more like Final Fantasy 15, but with like just fully guns were like the only thing they used.
Oh.
Project Magnum. It's by Nexon.
Nexon.
Of course, Game Informer. Project Magnum is Final Fantasy meets Destiny. Thanks. Two things I definitely do not want to go together.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I see it. It's got an anime boy.
Yeah.
Big enemies. You shoot them.
Yo, wait 1 second. Taking down large enemies together, a design that will hopefully set this game apart from the other looter shooters on the market. It's a fucking Monster Hunter.
Yeah. Oh, it's a loot shooter, 4-player only, entirely PvE. It's Monster Hunter with gun.
It's Monster Hunter if you only use the heavy bow gun.
Yeah, and it looks to have
Honestly,
a few movement abilities like a grappling hook.
Actually, you know what? I'm coming around on it because I've always actually thought that concept could be pretty cool. Especially since that's the best part in every Destiny strike is when you fight the big monster at the end.
Yeah, Nexon's a weird company though. So they did MapleStory.
But they also work with Squeenix.
They worked with Squeenix on the Korean launch of Final Fantasy XIV. They're a powerhouse in mobile games.
Hey, well, this game looks really good. Like, graphically. Arcade, Asgard, closest Counter-Strike Online, probably
the Korean version.
Not reading everything anymore.
Dragon Nest. Oh, Dungeon Fighter is supposed to be good.
I've heard.
/ Dungeon End Fighter.
DNF Online.
Yeah. Korean FF14.
Oh, it just said global, though. Go back up. It says global. So they probably just helped them with their, like...
In cooperation with Squeenix. Yeah, they're not the main... They're, like, side.
MapleStory 2.
Yep. Yeah, that's...
Yeah.
Then they did mobile games. Choices!
I like Counter Side.
Counter Side.
Dynasty Warriors Unleashed.
Yeah.
FIFA
Domination. FIFA Mobile. Korea.
Konosuba Fantastic Days.
Ooh.
So this is definitely really a hardcore like A team and B team, and the B team just makes their mobile games.
Yeah. So yeah, that's, you know, does that mean it's going to be terrible? No, but that means, you know,
it's a risk.
Take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah. Go watch the trailer. There's no gameplay in it whatsoever, so it is all like cinematic shit.
If it is Monster Hunter with guns and grappling hooks, I might check it out.
That is very interesting if it is. Also, if it's cross-platform, even better.
Yeah, so this is on PS5, PS4, and PC.
Which honestly, games should just be cross-platform now.
You mean cross-play?
Cross-platform, yeah. Which is that's what I meant. Cross-play,
okay.
cross-play, cross-platform. Yeah.
It's not cross-platform because I guess Sony paid for some exclusivity,
console exclusivity, because you can't really get. Sony doesn't really. The weird
really
thing,
hyped for the Switch port 2 years from now, where it runs like dog shit.
Yeah, Sony doesn't really consider. It's nice that Sony does not consider their PC to be any competition to them. So
obviously, Microsoft is doing better in the PC space.
Well, now. Because they also have put all of their games in the PC space. It's more like I think they recognize that a lot of people who used to have Xboxes
are now PC gamers.
Became PC gamers, which is true. That's what happened with me.
Yeah.
And then I didn't buy an Xbox because every game I wanted to play that was on Xbox was just coming to PC anyways.
Or it was like, is this worth $500?
Yeah, which I thought, No.
I
felt like I had a lot. I just used to have an abundance of money, and I'm like, I'll go buy a cheap Xbox One and play through Halo 5. And hated it.
$500 for Halo 5.
It was also Gears of War 4.
Oh, yeah.
It's also not that good of one. Gears of War 5 is much better, but that was also on PC. So.
But yeah, that's cool. I'll check that out maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
What else do we have in there?
Eurogamer Report claims Game Boy and Game Boy Color games coming to Nintendo Switch online.
Yep.
It's believable, apparently, because no GBA and DS games because Nintendo was dumb.
Yep.
God, just give me... I don't even care about DS games, because DS, at least they would be like, the dual screen can't work very well on a Switch.
But they put it on fucking Wii U.
Because the Wii U, you could use the bottom screen on a DS on the touchscreen controller.
But they also had it where it would both be on screen.
That's dumb. But the GBA would be good, though. Would be cool.
Yeah. Well, name a Game Boy Color game that you were like, yeah, I want to play that.
Super Mario World?
That's not a Game Boy Color.
That's a Super Mario. It's like Super Mario Advanced, and they had Super Mario World in it.
Yeah, but they already have that on the SNES. And it's better on SNES than GBA, because the GBA, they did that weird screen crop. Or, sorry, not GBA. Well, that was GBA. Fuck. Not on GBC.
Yeah. So it doesn't matter.
The dog shit version of Donkey Kong Country?
Original Metroid 2?
Yeah, on the Game Boy.
Wario Land?
Yeah. But, not the fucking cool Wario Lands, which were on GBA and Wii. There's that one great
Link's
one.
Awakening, which has already been remade.
Already been remade.
Yeah.
Like GBA, it's like Metroid Zero Mission, Metroid fucking Fusion.
Pokemon games, which arguably they would not put. Actually, that would be the nice thing.
That's the one thing
For
Pokemon.
GB and Game Boy Color, we could get Pokemon Red. Also, they could have a Switch because they actually did a thing with Pokemon Red.
Yeah.
Like the first generation Pokemon games. When you play, like originally, it was just that like weird off green color.
Yeah.
That green, grayish yellow.
Yeah.
That was like for everything. When you played it on a GBA, I mean on a GBC,
GBC.
they added color to it. So Pallet Town was red.
Yeah.
Cerulean Town was blue. Mm-hmm. Brock's Place was more brown. Like they actually colored the cities.
Yeah. Like it was still not fully in color, but the GBC like
it added
a little
color,
bit.
and then they had.
It's like how sometimes when you used the Super Game Boy, they would put like a special border around some games.
Yeah. But and then also we had so you could have like an option where it's like I want to play it original or I want to play it with the color redos, or then also Game Boy Color they were like 16-bit games.
But like again, other than because Game Boy
they were 8-bit.
Game Boy and Game Boy Color games were both 8-bit.
Yeah.
But
GBA
16 baby
fucking
slaps.
Honestly, there's not enough games for Game Boy and Game Boy Color. It's going to be like 10 titles.
Yeah.
GBA could add 100 titles. Mega Man Battle Network.
Fucking there's like 8 of those.
Minish Cap
and the Oracle games.
I thought those were on Game Boy.
Are they on Game Boy Color?
Yeah, I think they're Game Boy
I thought
Color.
they were GBA as well.
I think there was a version on GBA where they put them both together. I will just check right now for sure. Pokemon,
then
the three
those,
of them.
obviously. But yeah, Minish Cap, fucking the fucking good Castlevanias that are on GBA. Like, yeah, they go on to the
Oracle
DS2.
of Seasons was on GBA. I
Okay.
mean, GBC, sorry.
GBC. So they were both on the same platform because you'd play them in a certain order and it would remember.
Legend of Zelda Four Swords.
Four Swords is on GBA or GBC?
GBA.
Yeah.
Yeah, Seasons and Ages were both Game Boy Color games.
So then that'll be sick to play on the TV.
Yeah.
That and Pokemon is like, and Metroid 2, but they've already remade that for 3DS, but whatever. Like, that's fine.
Yeah.
Fucking Link's Awakening, the less good version.
There's a questionable conversation about that one.
Really?
Because the way to unlock additional bottles in the new one is that you had to go do their new dungeon minigame, where in the original you could just go find bottles in the game as it used to be. It's the Link's Awakening DX whatever isn't a
DX is the Game Boy Color version.
Yeah, it's not a. It's like a Kiwami 2 remake, where they added something new, but then they also took out like a whole section of the story. Wasn't there like a third location in Kiwami 2 or something? Or in
no,
Yakuza 2?
That's true about Yakuza 2, but for Link's Awakening, the new one, it's all the same except instead of
they added that dungeon builder thing.
Yeah,
and that's where they went and put the bottles behind that instead of them being found in the world.
Yeah, but that's also like they were also it's like kind of they didn't remove that much, they just like moved it slightly.
Okay.
But like in what they did replace is in the DX version of Link's Awakening, which is the Game Boy Color version. There was an extra dungeon that was based on colors because you can see color now, and they replaced that with the dungeon builder.
Metabot game, which would probably not show up on this.
Metabots.
There's like one really good one that I just never got to, that I played a lot as a kid.
Yeah. They should fucking put GBA on there. And then again, that's what makes me believe that Nintendo's doing it, because it's like, cool, you've made a large deal out of
Dragon
giving
Ball Z Taikatsu.
bullshit. It's not coming. It's a licensed game.
Dragon Ball Z Legacy of Goku 1, 2, and 3.
It's a licensed game. And also, those are GBA games.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
This would be nice. Mario Kart Super Circuit.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy 6.
I mean, probably...
Mario and Luigi Superstars.
Yeah.
Advance Wars.
Yeah. Well, they're remaking Advance Wars, so I bet they wouldn't put it on that thing.
They've remade games and put them on there still.
Really?
Kirby.
Yeah.
Escape from Dreamland, which is also kind of a remake, but kind of not.
Well, yeah, I think the like Kirby actually started on the Game Boy, so probably the first couple Kirby's.
Fire Emblem: The Sacred Sword.
Yeah, that'd be fucking dope.
Fire Emblem: The Blazing whatever.
Yeah.
Golden Sun.
Golden Sun is GBA, and those games are supposed to be sick.
The Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories. Oh, the sickest one. I know you said it's a license thing, so it would be difficult. But Dragon Ball Advanced Adventure is the fucking coolest Dragon Ball game.
Yeah.
It's a 2D side-scrolling platformer.
Well, if we're gonna talk
where you play as Goku going from fucking beginning of Dragon Ball to the end of Dragon Ball.
If we're gonna talk about licensed games that we played as kids, fucking Spider-Man: Menace of Mysterio, baby.
I didn't play that one.
I played that on my GBA.
Apparently there was an Earthbound on fucking GBA.
Yeah, Mother 3.
Oh, that's never coming out.
Yeah. But if they did, that'd be sick. But they wouldn't put it on online. It would be its own game.
Yeah.
On the fucking eShop. They wouldn't include it with your fucking purchase because
The Adventures of Jimmy Neutron versus Jimmy Negatron.
Bro, dude, you can't just say that word.
Shut up. American Idol.
American Idol, baby. But yeah, I think DS would be cool too because there's a lot of crossover.
I think that, and also the Switch does have a touchscreen, so they could just be like,
you could
only
be
playing
like
in handheld mode and it's in the corner.
Well, certain games can it's like only in handheld. But there's some games that you don't need to actually touch the touchscreen. Like Super Mario 64 DS, you don't need to touch the touchscreen.
Depends.
For most of that game.
If you're playing the mini games, you do.
The mini games need the touchscreen, but most of that game doesn't need the touchscreen. Unless you want analog controls.
I just think that's a bit too new for them. I understand that there was DS games on the Wii U, but on the Wii U it was like a last-ditch effort.
But
like,
dude,
guys,
like
come back.
the thing that's funny about that, Ian,
What?
is that there are DS and Wii games as old as games that appeared on the Wii Virtual Console.
Okay, fine.
Like, it's weird that we don't think of those games as classic games, whereas we thought about like SNES games as classic games back when the Wii came out.
Yeah.
Like, but yeah, it's fucking weird. I don't know.
Cabela's Big Game Hunter 2005 Adventures.
On GBA?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I'm just looking through GBA games.
Tony Hawk's American Skateland on DS, baby. That game's fucking actually good.
Yeah.
Like, it's weird. Like, you're like, damn, I didn't expect this to be good because it's a fucking handheld port of a full console game, but it's actually pretty good.
Yeah, I never played it.
Oh, yeah?
I had a PSP, and that's where I played American Wasteland.
Oh, yeah. I mean, okay. You know me, Ian. I'm not going to talk shit on the PSP. The PSP was a much better console. Just by any means.
Yeah.
If we were going to do PSP fucking games on PS5, I'd be like, fucking Crisis Core.
Daxter!
Yeah, no, like...
Secret Agent Clank!
Size Matters! Fucking... Like, dude, so many of those games, you're like, that's a full-ass game.
Yeah.
Jeanne d'Arc!
Yeah, it's very rare for there to actually be like full games on like a DS.
That's like a full ass game. Like PSP games, it's like
I would say all the
Crisis
games
Core.
we initially mentioned are full ass games.
Yeah,
it's that I'm looking through all these other ones and it's like
there's like a bunch of garbage.
Shit.
Yeah. But like that's the thing about the PSP is that PSP games were like every PSP game was a full ass game. Like, do I not like Daxter because I think it kind of sucks? Yeah. Is it a fucking full-ass game that, like, you're like, this is a 3D game?
With cutscenes, and story, and combat, and shit.
Decent graphics.
Yeah.
Like, 3D graphics that look great. Like, if you saw that shit on a DS, you'd be like, how the fuck did they put this in my hand?
Yeah.
Like, most PSP games look better than most 3DS games.
Who the fuck works with...
And then the Vita is the best. It's the same as the Switch, pretty much.
So I'm just looking at... Okay, cool. I think it's entirely possible that the legacy of Goku games and shit could still appear on a GBA Virtual Console.
Yeah.
Because the people who made them is Dimps. They're not well known. They are a smaller company, but they worked on Sonic the Hedgehog, Dragon Ball, and Street Fighter. I think all for the mobile games.
Yep.
But Bandai Namco, Sony Interactive, and Takashi Nishiyama are the major shareholders of the company. Bandai Namco has a close relationship with Nintendo.
So the thing is not Bandai Namco?
It'd be Akira Toriyama.
It'd be Akira Toriyama and Bird Studio, who own Dragon Ball.
But why would they fight Nintendo on it?
Because
Money.
Of royalties.
I think they shouldn't do a Nintendo. For what they should stop doing, if they released GBA games and made them like you had to buy the game separately instead of it being this,
that
like,
would
Switch.
suck ass.
It would suck, but I would only buy the ones I really cared about.
Yeah, but I think the streaming service model is good because it's like, what, you're gonna make me pay like $10 for a fucking GBA game in 2021? I'll just steal it.
Then steal it.
Yeah, but if it's included with my thing, I won't steal it, and
I
I'm
would
paying
still
for it.
steal it. Because you're still paying for, just because you're streaming, it doesn't mean you're not paying for it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. But if I'm already paying for it, I'm paying $10 for 50 GBA games
That you're not going to play anyways.
Yeah,
But what I'm saying is that it's like they put out fucking
But if I'm paying
Dragon Ball fucking Legacy of Goku, a game you don't even want to play.
I mean, I would play
But they'd be like, oh, $5. I'd be like, yeah, sure.
But if it was on the service, I would play it, Ian. I would play a bunch of... I do with the SNES
but they're not
games.
putting these games out there for people to play them for the first time. They're putting these games out there for people who played them when they were kids and have no way of playing them anymore.
Yeah.
And also as a way of justifyingly trying to sue all the emulator sites.
Yeah.
But, like... I'm not saying... No one's going to play the Legacy of Goku series.
No, but people play fucking Aria of Sorrow.
Yeah, but is that a Nintendo game?
It's a GBA game by Konami.
By Konami.
Yeah.
That's not a Nintendo game.
Yeah, but I think one of the other
what logic?
Castlevanias was on the SNES.
How is it so different?
Online. What?
Konami's not a fucking first-party Nintendo developer.
No, but they have games that aren't by Nintendo on the service.
Exactly.
But
the Legacy of Goku games.
No. So I'm trying to explain. So it's harder to do it when there's a license because you have to renege on the contract with the fucking Bird Studio. You have to renegotiate.
Whoa.
On the contract with Bird Studio and Akira Toriyama for the royalties on the game again.
I have seen Dragon Ball Super. Akira Toriyama will take any money.
Right, but like it's different when it's like we want to put your fucking like GBA games on a thing. Like I'm saying licensing Castlevania Aria of Sorrow from Konami is easy, and they've already licensed Super Castlevania 4 for the SNES Online. So it'd be easy to do it for that one too, right? For the GBA Online too, right? But to do like no games on the other services, they don't have fucking Spider-Man and Venom Maximum Carnage on the SNES Online because they don't want to license the fucking characters from Marvel all over again because it's expensive. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Okay.
I just think.
Okay, yeah, and I think
tasteful alternative.
Yeah.
To allow me to play a game.
Legacy of Monkey.
My hands.
Legacy of Monkey. 1, 2, and 3. The
Okay, Frieza, relax.
No. I mean like what is it? It's legally distinct. Games with legally distinct characters that are the same game.
My son, me, I am an alien from the missile planet of Yasain, and my name is Kugo. This is my son, Rice.
Pongo.
No, they just actually call him Rice.
Oh.
This is my other son. Run 9+1. I don't know.
What is his second son's name?
Goten.
Tengo.
Tengo?
Yeah.
He's like
Pongo and Tengo.
Okay. And there's my wife, Titties. Because that's what Chi-Chi means.
Yeah. Titties, or you could just say, instead of Chi-Chi, you could have her be like Chu, which I think is the Japanese sound effect for kissing. Right?
Well, Chi-Chi is a childish way of talking about boobs.
Yeah. I'm just saying that's a similar.
This is my best friend, Bloomers, and her mother or her daughter, Bra, and her son, Boxers. Because Trunks is too close.
Yeah.
Well, anyways.
Yep.
That's the news.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Talk about your fucking stupid ass comics.
All right.
Oh, thank God, it's only like 3 things.
Yeah. I already talked about X-Men, so that's all I had to say. Except the last thing I had to say is, Ian, the one X-Men you didn't mention was Wolverine. And Wolverine, much like Nightcrawler, only joined the X-Men in Chris Claremont's run.
But he was a character that existed already.
Yeah, he was a Hulk villain.
Yeah. That's why I didn't say him.
Yeah.
Because I know he's existed for a long time.
No, yeah, he existed about a year before Chris Claremont took over the X-Men as a Hulk villain, and then joined the X-Men about a year into his creation under Chris Claremont and became a popular character.
Okay, fine.
I'm just saying, isn't that impressive?
Yeah, sure.
Like, you're like, fucking Wolverine was like an obscure Hulk villain, and he could have been that forever.
Yeah.
If it weren't for Chris Claremont. Imagine the Incredible Hulk movie if people were like, yo, maybe Wolverine will show up. It's like that one guy who appeared in like a few issues and fought the Hulk, and the Hulk snapped.
Yeah,
him in
there's
half.
actually going to be a Hulk movie coming out soon where the Wolverine, that's how they bring Wolverine into it.
That would actually be cool if like they introduced a new Wolverine and they introduced him by having Hulk fight him and snap him in half.
Sure, and he just regenerates.
He regenerates. That's like a big thing. That's
Yeah.
like the thing that happens in their fight. I think in the Ultimate Universe, but it was rad. And speaking of Marvel, I'm going to talk about Dark Ages #1.
Yeah.
It's a new comic by my boy Tom Taylor. And this comic tells of a fucking alternate universe, Marvel, alternate future vibe. Where essentially what happens is in the modern day, some shit seems to be fucked up. And the Watcher comes down and is like, there is an ancient robot in the core of the earth that has awakened to destroy everyone. And you know shit's serious when the Watcher comes down and is like, guys, you need to fucking deal with this. That's how you know shit's serious, right, Ian?
Yeah. But when Uatu was like, please.
Yeah. When Uatu's like, fucking do something. So anyway, what winds up happening is a bunch of people go to fight it. It kills a bunch of superheroes. And starts fucking with the world all over the place. It's really interesting. And then what ends up happening is like a bunch of people die, including Doctor Strange. But he opened a portal to a universe that is a living EMP. And so the portal doesn't close, but they managed to stop the robot. So now, 7 years later, we live in the future, and all electricity is fucking gone. We're dealing with Spider-Man, and he has got a daughter with Mary Jane. And so he's got like steam-powered web shooters that are huge. And he's going to be fighting against Apocalypse and his new horsemen, which are more than one. He's got like Mr. Fantastic, what appears to be like either Venom or Carnage or both, a steam-powered Iron Man, a big burly buff She-Hulk, and Beast, and I think Lady Deathstrike. And yeah. So that's fucking neat. It's conceptually cool. I want to read this more. And it's alternate universe, so like when your favorite heroes die, you can be like, oh, that's sad, but also it's not permanent.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, it sucks that fucking Doctor Strange dies in this book. It sucks that the Thing dies. Like, not, you know, spoiler alert. Also, Vision's daughter dies when all the electricity disappears. And Iron Man fucking falls out of the sky. It's rad.
Yeah.
I love this type of thing. Tom Taylor, in case you don't know, he's great at destroying universes that are comic book universes that are big, wide looks. In case you don't know, at DC, he did both the Injustice comics and Deceased, which is like their version of Marvel Zombies. So yeah, he's great at ripping universes apart and telling interesting stories with the characters in them, in the alternate universe stories. So I'm excited to see more of this. I think it's only going to be like 8 or 12 issues, which is cool. I like it when much like anything, I always say this on the fucking show, if you're like, this thing has a start and an end planned from the beginning, I'm here. So yeah, really cool. You might want to check it out, but even though I spoiled issue 1 for you, but I don't know what happens in the next ones, and I'm hyped for it. Second thing is issue 3 of Static Shock. You know the boy. It came out. It's cool. This book's still cool. It feels like it's taking a while to get to like he is a superhero. In this issue, he basically starts. He like gets an outfit. He learns that he can fly on a fucking on a sewer grate, like classic Static Shock shit.
Yeah.
But it looks like we're kind of coming to we're going to start coming to a head, because I think he's going to try to break out some teens from teen jail. Because as a reminder, in this universe, the Big Bang event that caused all the superheroes was everybody was at a Black Lives Matter riot / fucking protest / whatever. It's rad.
I just read something really dumb.
What was it?
Digital Foundry ranked like all the Marvel origin story movies.
Yeah.
Now this is actually up to interpretation. I would argue.
Yeah.
They are misusing the term origin story.
Okay.
And and what they meant to say was the first time this character was in a leading role.
Oh.
Because they ranked Spider-Man Homecoming there.
Okay.
Not an origin story.
Nope.
He was already Spider-Man.
Yep.
Black Panther.
Yep.
He was already the Black Panther.
I mean, it has his origin.
And they were both higher
flashback.
than Captain America.
That's weird.
The first Avenger. So.
That's weird.
Yeah.
And I think Captain America, the first Avenger.
Number one was Iron Man. That's like we can't argue with that.
Is it
one.
okay? Are we talking MCU or are we talking
MCU.
in general? Okay,
it's MCU origin story specifically.
Okay, because I was like Iron Man.
Oh,
the
sorry.
best
Also,
one?
this one's going to upset you.
Yeah.
Black Panther.
Yeah.
And Spider-Man: Homecoming.
Yeah.
Were above Guardians of the Galaxy.
Okay, I like Guardians of the Galaxy a lot. If we're judging them on how good the origin story part of it is, I don't think Guardians of the Galaxy is great at doing the origin story.
All right, here. You want me to just hit you with the list?
Yeah.
All right, so number 12, The Incredible Hulk.
Is the worst one, they said?
It's the bottom of the list, so I would say so.
Not an origin story.
They're being positive about it.
Yeah.
But you know what they mean by putting it at 12.
It
Number
is
11
not
is
an origin story also.
Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange is 11?
Yeah. Also, definitely the
Probably
like
should be
3
higher.
origin stories in total in this actual list, and Doctor Strange is an origin story.
Is one of the origin stories.
Thor is 10.
Thor? Okay. I like Thor. I am a defender of the first Thor movie.
I think there's good moments, but I think the movie is also... It's better than Thor. It's watchable.
Yeah.
Like...
Unlike Thor the Dark World.
Yeah.
I think Thor 1 is pretty watchable and enjoyable, and I liked what they were thinking of doing. I like the idea of what fucking Kenneth Branagh wanted to do as like this Shakespearean take on Thor that's kind of more...
Yeah.
But it just didn't work, I think, with the cast and
the
the
worst
world.
part about Thor is it's what they did to Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah, the fucking blonde eyebrows.
The blonde eyebrows, the blonde hair that's like perfectly like gelled and fucking like hairsprayed up, where like the modern one where it's like actually slicked back, and then he has like the hair braid around the side to keep it in place.
Yeah.
And then has normal human eyebrows and a normal man's beard.
Yeah.
Number 9, Black Widow. Not an origin story.
It like has some of her origin.
It has
in it.
the next Black Widow's origin in it.
It has some origin in it. It's more of an origin story than the Incredible Hulk.
Okay, yeah, you got that. Number 8, Captain Marvel. For sure an origin story.
I mean, yeah, an origin story for sure. I think Captain Marvel's fine. Like MCU,
I would honestly put Captain Marvel at
MCU
11.
movies, for me, it's like they all exist on this like weird spectrum of like fine to fine. Like the left end is fine and the right end is fine.
I would say if we're putting the left as the lower side, I would say that's fine.
Yeah.
And I would say the higher side is like good.
Pretty good.
I would say good to great.
Yeah.
But great is more rare.
Yeah.
I'd say it's the same thing with like Fast and the Furious to me. It's like these long franchises don't deserve, especially with like this shit where it's like people were like Avengers Endgame was the best movie of the year. And it's like, yeah, but you watched 20 movies before.
Yeah, I mean,
to
it
really
has so much
that.
homework.
Yeah.
Black
Widow,
okay, I will agree that like
Marvel.
Spider-Man: Homecoming and Black Panther are really fucking good Marvel movies. So like having them on the high end of the list is good, even though they're not really origin stories.
Yeah. Number 7 is Captain America: The First Avenger.
Yeah, again, I think that's one of the better ones, especially if you like. Judge
I would put it
on a
higher
phase
than
one.
the next one.
I like Captain America: The First Avenger more than I like Iron Man 1.
Okay, yeah. Ant-Man.
Ant-Man.
I would put Captain America: The First Avenger definitely above Ant-Man.
Yeah, like Ant-Man. I know it's like Nathan hates Ant-Man, and yeah, Nathan does hate Ant-Man. I can't stand those movies, and I don't know why. I like parts of them. I like things that they talk about in them, but it's like as a whole, I don't like either movie.
That's fine.
But that doesn't stop me from being hyped for the third one because Kang's gonna show up, Ian. And
a ton of reasons. Well, also it's because it's not just like when these new movies come out, it's not just their movie anymore.
Yeah.
Like the Eternals and Shang-Chi are by themselves.
Yeah.
But everyone else is like, oh, we get to mix and match.
Yeah. Bless you.
Number 5 is Shang-Chi.
Okay, I think Shang-Chi does deserve to be on the higher end of the list. And that's not just like that
it's in the top 50%, but
that might be
because
recency
it's fresh.
bias. Yeah. But also like that movie fucking slaps.
I would put it above Guardians of the Galaxy.
I would too.
Guardians of the Galaxy is number 4, by the way.
I think because I'm more of a Guardians of the Galaxy 2 guy because I think Guardians of the Galaxy 2 kind of finds itself a lot better.
It was definitely more enjoyable on my second watch.
Yeah, I think Guardians of the Galaxy 2 like builds off of Guardians 1 because a lot of stuff that's in Guardians 1 that it just like expects you to deal with in Guardians 2 subverts it. So it's like, you know, Peter Quill, he's a fun guy and he's like kind of misogynistic, and in 2 it's like we're dealing with that.
Yeah. He's getting better, but also he's still like a baby man child.
It's about his toxic masculinity.
Number 3, Spider-Man Homecoming.
Yeah, I mean, Spider-Man Homecoming's fucking great.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
I don't like it. It's the one I don't want to watch anymore, though.
Really?
I watched it more than a lot of the other MC movies, but it's just also...
You know what? Me too.
I don't like the cringy high school aspect of the movie, but that's like a huge part of the movie.
Yeah, I like that. I think Spider-Man Homecoming...
I like Spider-Man. I like visually, I like the second one a lot more.
I think the second one's better. Yeah. Second one's better for sure, I think, in a lot of ways. But Spider-Man Homecoming has what used to be my most memorable joke of, like, this is the dirtiest joke they've let into the MCU, which is the porn I'm watching porn joke.
Not anymore.
Not anymore as a Shang-Chi. We'll talk about it later.
Black Panther's number 2.
Black Panther number 2. Again, Black Panther fucking slaps. It's a great movie.
Also, first
appearance of that character.
Second.
Oh yeah, first like
Civil War.
Yeah, you're right.
But also, it's the first like predominantly black movie.
Yeah,
superhero movies for sure.
Yeah.
And it's not about there's predominantly black movies, but then what's the topic?
Yeah,
slavery or the civil rights era, where this is actually just like we're good.
Yeah,
we're gonna talk about it.
Yeah,
our villain is trying to do things that are
Black Panther. It's funny because Black Panther 1, like as we'll end up calling it, is primarily a movie that isn't about Black Panther. It's like, to me, it's like that's a fucking Killmonger movie. It's
like it's Killmonger being like, here's what I think we should do,
and you're involves, like, that's bad, but I get it.
Yeah, it's like we understand how you came about.
Yes, this is like, yes, you know what? You're not wrong for thinking of this, but also like you shouldn't do it.
And number 1 is Iron Man.
Again, I would disagree. I think Iron Man 1 is like a worse movie than people remember it.
You're for sure correct. I think the reason why people like you got to kind of put Iron Man 1 at the spot.
First one. Yeah,
it's the franchise starter.
Yeah. I think that this isn't me saying Iron Man 1 isn't good. This is me saying like Iron Man 1 is quite good, but also it's like when you look back at it, you're like, oh yeah, right. It's very okay with the Iraq War.
It's very much like military, not bad.
Yeah.
Which is what they always do. But
yeah,
Iron Man 1, I rewatched an episode of The Chef Show last night.
Yeah.
It's the episode where they go and have dinner with the Avengers. Well, the Avengers, like, it was the Russo brothers, Tom Holland, Robert Downey Jr., and Kevin Feige, and also, of course, Roy Choi and fucking Jon Favreau.
Yeah.
They're sitting there talking about the thing, and Kevin Feige tells this story about how he was just trying to slip fucking Iron Man out, where it's just like, someone was already asking in 2000. He's like, "When's this superhero fad gonna fucking pass over? Like, this is so like, let's get this out of the way." So Feige was like, "Shit, John, we gotta get Iron Man out there,
out the window.
We just like, hopefully it makes us back our money in a bit." And then it was a huge success.
Yeah, and I think this the superhero genre was really empowered by like 2008 having both Iron Man 1 and The Dark Knight.
Yeah, and they also make jokes about that, where they were like, The Dark Knight came out and they're like, we need 6 months. We can't fucking come out anywhere near that movie.
Yeah.
It's like, man, if only you guys kept up with that opinion of your own fucking movies.
That's funny.
Like, I get COVID why we're getting so many in a few months, but we did have a superhero fatigue with Ant-Man 2.
Yeah.
Where it was like, you give us fucking like Black Panther, Ant-Man 2, and like Captain Marvel all within like the same year.
No, it was Black Panther, Infinity War, Ant-Man 2. And people were not ready for Ant-Man 2 after Infinity War. Like, people were not ready to go back to the theater.
Well, because everybody was
movie.
depressed.
Yeah.
I just remember reading like Twitter where guys like he was like the movie finished and everyone like walked out and like saw people to the next show and they just looked like
don't go in there.
Yeah, which is such a like little baby fucking
I mean, that's
thing.
so funny. Yeah,
because when that movie finished, I was like, oh no, how are they gonna bring them all back?
Yeah,
because I
was like, I walked out that movie and I was like, wow, that's sad ending. But yeah, they're gonna bring them all back.
Wow, what a well done executed movie, and it was a very sad and like melancholic ending.
I felt something
They're
when
all
Spider-Man
coming back
died.
immediately.
Yeah, I remember being like, hey, you might not want to bring saying to my aunt or whatever. Like I have a cousin who's like, I think, I don't know the ages of children, but he's like 10 or 12 or something like that.
Yeah.
And like, so obviously it was like a couple years ago, so he's like 8 or 10 or whatever. And so like I was like, maybe don't bring him to this movie. Like maybe wait until the next one and you have him watch them both in order. Like
that would make sense, yeah.
Because like he's gonna be kind of devastated for a year.
Yeah.
Fucking Spider-Man dies in front of him. Like,
also Spider-Man not much older than him in canonically in the story. He's like 16 and this kid is like 10.
Yeah, like, you know, it's pretty fucking rough.
Yeah. Alright, so I got my one movie that I watched literally last night.
Oh, sorry, I have one more comic to talk about, which is Venom by Donny Cates.
I thought you were just ignoring that one.
It's okay, sorry. Venom by Donny Cates, really fucking good. It just ended. It's great. I got the hardcovers. It slaps. I'm partway through the second one. I'm getting into the Absolute Carnage event. And it's super cool. And much like in Immortal Hulk, they bring a lot of character to him. Donny Cates is great at writing stories that are like still feel like he understands 90s edge, but manages to make it good.
I think I just saw something stupid.
Okay, great. We'll talk about the movie. Don't talk about the stupid thing. I was going to talk about something stupid, but I was like, I don't need to bring this up.
All right. So last night I got home. I was sitting at my computer. Everyone was off because I'm usually the one who keeps people up late.
Yeah.
And I was here playing board games. Got home at like 12:30 or something.
Yeah.
12:30 or 1. And I'm sitting there. I'm just like bored. Didn't want to play anything. Done looking at memes. Mm-hmm. Had no new videos. Just got in bed. Was like, I'm going to go through Netflix. Mm-hmm. It's like 2 a.m. at this point.
Okay.
I'm just scrolling through. And this one movie I've been putting off for literally 7 years to watch.
Okay. Well,
I already brought up the fucking show that they have a spin-off of it. I finally watched Chef.
Oh, okay.
The Jon Favreau movie. Is really good.
Yeah.
Especially if you like cooking. Yeah. God, Roy Choi was correct with his like teachings of Jon Favreau. Because every bit of cooking in that movie does look beautiful. It's really well done. It's like authentic. It's not just like them doing like magic tricks and like spins or like making cooking look like this bombastic affair. It's like him being like very detail oriented and having his like own thing.
And doesn't fucking both Robert Downey Jr. and Scarlett Johansson show up?
Scarlett Johansson is like a semi love interest. It's like,
dude,
I know.
Cast yourself as the lead character and then like, yeah, my love interest is one of the hottest women on the planet.
Yeah, also one that I've already worked with on like 3 movies.
Yeah.
And have already flirted with in other movies in like uncomfortable ways. It's supposed to be she is the host / sommelier of the like this fancy LA restaurant he works at.
Yeah.
But he wants to change the menu, and his boss is Dustin Hoffman, who comes in and he's like, "We have a reviewer coming in today, one of the biggest food reviewer in the world, in America. Run the fucking menu." And he makes this analogy where it's like, if you went and saw the Stones and they didn't play Satisfaction, you'd be pretty fucking mad. Yeah. AKA, if you went and saw a band and they didn't play their hits, you would be like, well, that was a shit concert.
Yeah.
Which is incorrect, because that's not how food works. You don't want to eat the same fucking thing all the time. Like, unless you're a bodybuilder who wants to eat chicken, broccoli, and rice.
Well, you don't want to. You force that upon yourself.
They act like it's tasty.
Yeah.
But then the whole thing is that his boss, like, berates him into... like doing the same menu, and then he gets a bad review. He gets like a 2-star. Yeah. And it really bothers him, and then he
quits and starts a food truck.
No, a lot of them he gets fired.
Oh.
A lot of the movie is spaced around Twitter. So at his restaurant, his like line cook is John Leguizamo, and his sous chef is Bobby Cannavale.
Okay.
The stepdad from Ant-Man.
Yeah.
who I was like, I finally went and learned his name because I'm like, I see this guy in fucking everything. So he goes, he picks a fight with the guy on Twitter, and he says, we're going to do the menu, a completely different menu. The menu we were supposed to feed him. His boss comes in, bitches him out, kicks him out of the restaurant, promotes his sous chef to be the like new guy, and then it's this montage of.
Oh wow! So in both Ant-Man and Chef, he cuckolds the main character.
Yeah. So and then it's this montage of like the food reviewer who is played by some guy. He's a famous actor. I can't remember his name.
Okay.
Of him like eating the food and just going like, "This is a joke, right?" Because the whole thing is that Jon Favreau's son puts him on Twitter, and he thinks that he replies to him in a private message.
Oh.
That about like he's after he's reading the review, because the review went viral because like he had like a lot of really funny takedowns in it.
Yeah.
And he responds as at Chef Carl Casper, hits him back with, "Hey asshole, come back tonight. I'll make you a fucking meal that blows your mind."
Yeah.
But he didn't know how replies work, so he publicly replied to him like that.
Yeah.
So the guy's like, "Yeah, I'll come back." He comes back, but he gets fired. So he doesn't. He just eats the same thing. And the whole time he's sitting there going like, "This is you're playing with me, right? Can I speak to the chef? What the fuck is going on?" And he gets the same thing. And then Jon Favreau is like at home while this guy's like going through a shitty meal, making this like beautiful like crazy multi like ethnic meal where it's like, oh, we have Korean fucking gochujang, but it's on top of like some like latkes. Like it's some crazy shit. It's like it's one of those things where it's like food is made to be fucked with.
Yeah.
And it's made to be combined. That's why whenever I hear something about like, oh, a white guy opened a sushi restaurant, gross. And it's like, you don't know where that white guy trained. He could have gone to Japan for like 10 years and like made rice.
I personally, hey, if you're starting a fusion restaurant, do you? I don't care what your nationality is. If you're starting a specific cultural restaurant,
sushi is a rough one.
If you're starting a specific cultural restaurant, I want you to like. I want if you know a fucking Chinese restaurant's good if they don't speak English.
That's actually, what was that? There was like a TikTok joke about that where it's like, if there's a kid in the corner doing his math homework and there's a guy who just, he only understands English numbers and you can't ask him any questions.
Yeah.
And there's like random shitty music playing, you know it's a fire Chinese place.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, because obviously the ethnic restaurant, like,
yeah.
The people who run the restaurant with their ethnicity is going to be the best version of the restaurant.
Exactly.
But, you know, just because you're not Chinese or Japanese or French, God forbid you're French, that doesn't mean you can't make the food.
French food's good.
Or Italian. No, but I mean, the French food is fine. French people, though?
I'm pro-French people from France.
I'm not.
I'm anti-French people from Canada.
Absolutely. Yeah, so then he goes in, and he had this, like, takedown of, like, a chocolate lava cake.
Yeah.
And they explain it in the chef show that chocolate lava cake became like a bastardized version of itself because it seemed like an easy thing to make. And the guy kept referring to it as undercooked cake. And there's a big scene where this is how Jon Favreau like really loses his job is he comes in and he freaks out at the guy and he crushes it in his hand and he explains how chocolate lava cake is made. And he calls him a fucking hack. And he's like, all you do is you come in here. He just like takes down like critics and shit.
Yeah.
Which could also be Jon Favreau talking about every other movie he's ever made.
Because it's
like you come in here and all you do is whine and bitch, but what do you actually create? What do you do? You don't do anything. And so he gets fired. His ex-wife is played by Sofia Vergara. He literally just...
I directed and starred in this movie, and every woman I interact with is 10 times hotter than me.
Yeah. There is a really nice scene where he's like with Scarlett Johansson and he makes her like...
That'd be like if I fucking made a movie where it's like Mary Elizabeth Winstead and Laura Dern.
He makes like this like really special, like this really like a high food. Well, it's actually pretty easy to make, like spaghetti. But like the whole time, like Scarlett Johansson's like not like nude, but she's wearing like one of his shirts, implying they did just fuck. But in place of a sex scene, it's supposed to be like him sensually plating up this like spaghetti.
Yeah.
But it is actually like that looks like some good ass spaghetti. That looks like some pussy wetting spaghetti. And
here's the problem, though. As a person, you eat a fucking plate full of spaghetti, you ain't gonna have sex after.
They already fucked.
Oh, okay.
They definitely already fucked.
I'm like, that's like, oh yes, let's go eat a fucking burrito and fuck. It's like, bro, my stomach.
Let's go have some ramen.
I'm gonna fucking.
Let's just go
shit.
have like the most carb-loaded dinner from any cuisine.
And then like you're shaking around, you can feel it jostling in your stomach.
Let's have a Big Mac. Let's have a full pizza.
Yeah.
Each.
Let's each eat a Little Caesars pizza and then fuck.
And also Crazy Bread.
And Crazy Bread.
Yeah.
And throw up.
Yeah, so he gets fired. His wife Sofia Vergara is like a rich person. Oh, she's like I think she's a party planner or something. But she's like, I got meetings in Miami. It's summer vacation. The kids got to come with me. His nanny can't leave the state because
she's illegal.
She's illegal. So she hires him, aka she pays for his flight and everything.
Yeah. And
says, "Come hang out with your son in Miami while I do work." And her ex-husband, Sofia Vergara's ex-husband, is a I don't know. He does something.
Wait,
it's Robert Downey Jr.
Okay.
But that was the thing that pissed me off so much.
So wait,
Robert Downey Jr. is considered to have a cameo role in this movie. He is a named fucking character. It's not like he shows up in a crowd.
How many minutes of the movie is he in?
I would say 5 to 10.
Okay, you could argue that's like a cameo role.
Then Russell Peters has a cameo in the movie as well.
Oh, okay.
It's just there's a ton of famous people, and it's probably literally Jon Favreau just calling in people to come be in this like low budget movie.
Yeah.
And Robert Downey Jr. has like a weird manic performance. I think it's him channeling his inner ex-coke addict.
Yeah.
Because that's the vibe he keeps giving off.
Robert Downey Jr., although I would say like if we're really talking cameo roles from Robert Downey Jr., his most real cameo role is in fucking The Nice Guys, where he's a character that gets talked about a lot, but you only ever see him once and he's dead.
I never actually saw The Nice Guys.
The thing I always say about The Nice Guys is that the characters are really good, but the plot of the movie fucking sucks and is annoying.
Isn't that
but the movie's
who
great.
directs that movie?
Shane Black.
Oh, it's a shame. Okay, then different. Not because who the fuck is it who does that all the time? The guy made Inherent. The dude, whoever the fuck made Inherent
Paul Thomas
Vice.
Anderson.
You fucking knew it before I even said it. He's like, he makes like these movies look really good and they look interesting, but God, they're fucking boring to watch.
So the thing is, Shane Black is a very famous writer, and he's written a lot of great films.
But he also did the worst Iron Man.
Iron Man 2 still exists, homie.
I think Iron Man 3 is actually worse.
I think Iron Man 3 is the best Iron Man.
I'm sure we argued about this back when I watched all the movies.
Yeah.
So let's just move on. So Shane Black is a very famous writer.
Yeah, he's a famous writer. He's written a lot of great movies. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
Yeah.
Lethal Weapon.
Do you think he used to have a writing partner? Like, you think this might be an Edgar Wright scenario where he used to have someone to help him out?
100% Shane Black got famous from writing. And Shane Black, if you've ever studied screenwriting, everybody's like, okay, you're not Shane Black. Don't write like him.
Oh, okay.
It's like, don't put jokes in your screenplay. He can do that. You don't get to do that. So Shane Black, there is a line in Lethal Weapon 1. He says, the house is fucking nice as hell. It's got a big pool. It's got glass windows, just like the house that I'm gonna buy once my check for this movie comes in.
That's really funny.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me get back to the movie because we got to get past this.
Okay.
So he goes to Miami. They go see his Sofia Vergara's father perform because he's like a Cuban lounge singer. And they bring a kid because he's like, you've never seen his grandfather perform. She wants to see him before he retires.
Yep.
So he's like performing, blah, blah, blah. He does his Cuban music and shit. Yep. Then they go to a restaurant afterwards. The kid's passed out, and Jon Favreau gets a Cubano, like the sandwich.
Yeah.
And it's really good. And he's like, I want the kid to eat this. And his grandfather's like, don't fucking wake him. But then Jon Favreau realizes Cubanos don't exist on the West Coast. He can make Cubanos and sell them in a food truck. That's exactly what he does. He goes meets Robert Downey Jr., gets the food truck, pimps it out. John Leguizamo just fucking shows up. He quits his job at the old restaurant they used to work at to go be his sous chef on the fucking food truck. Yeah, and they make Cubanos. There's this scene. It's the first scene where they make them inside the truck where the kid is helping out.
Yeah.
And then John Leguizamo is just on fire. John Leguizamo has so much energy to him. He's such a good actor.
John Leguizamo, I don't know if he does do coke, but he seems like he does.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He did used to have a drinking problem.
Yeah.
That he got while working on Super Mario Bros. The movie.
Yeah. Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
So they make this scene, and then there's like this whole shit where like his kid like burns one of the sandwiches.
Yeah.
And John Favreau's like, well, Carl Casper, his dad's like, you can't fucking serve that.
Yeah.
And the kid's like, why? They're not paying for it. And they shut down the whole restaurant. He's like, get the fuck outside. We're talking right now. He has this whole thing about like, you don't, it's like fucking like you don't half-ass things if you love it.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, he asked the kid, do you not like this? And he's like, no, I like it. He's like, well, I love it. And I want things that I give to people to give them happiness. I don't want there to be any problems.
Hold on. What do you mean they're not paying for it?
Because they got these like day workers outside of a fucking like Home Depot.
Yeah.
Like these Mexican like dudes who they helped load this like 500-pound fryer into the back of the van.
Oh, and he made food for them.
So John Leguizamo shows up to get, and he in Spanish says, "Guys, help us load it in. We'll make you lunch." So these guys are literally getting beer and these sandwiches for free. And so they aren't paying for it. So the kid's logic is, if they get a slightly imperfect one, what's the problem? They're not paying for it. Mm-hmm. And Jon Favreau is like, you don't do that. Even if you're not making money off of it, it's still something you love doing. You shouldn't give them like a shittier version. Which is a food thing to say, because if it was like, you're an artist who takes commissions, absolutely do a shittier job.
Well, it's like, I don't know. Honestly, that's like such a movie thing. Like,
no, it really is.
That's not even a restaurant.
There is some logic
thing
that happens. It's like fucking like a top tier chef thing.
It's not even that. Like, it's just
like
there is no
like
person
a fucking
like
Wolfgang Puck would fucking say that, but he would say it in a meaner way to an adult.
Yeah, no, but what I'm saying is like, of course you're going to half-ass things. Yeah. It's a thing you do 8 hours a day. Some are going to be worse than others.
Yeah. There's like, I honestly think this movie was like a solid 9 for me.
Yeah.
Until the fucking ending. Why?
Does the ending suck ass?
It doesn't suck. It's just that it goes through some logic that I'm like, did you not consider this? So he, the kid they go on a road trip across, they got to get the van back to LA. They go on a road trip. The kid goes through it. He like uses social media to like get the van like the fucking food truck popular, because that's what food trucks did in the early 2010s is they used Twitter and all the fucking social media tools they had at their like hands.
Okay, let's blast through this. We have so many things to sum up. You don't need to explain the entire movie, chef, to me. Sorry.
So anyways, the ending though,
it's 9 o'clock, my guy.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Yeah, and fucking Derek's not even there yet, so what's the point?
Derek's there.
No, he's not. He said he won't be there till after 10 because he has to
everybody else is going to be there in
cares?
5 minutes.
They suck.
Okay.
Derek's the only one who matters. But okay, the fucking ending is he gets back with Sofia Vergara, and I really don't think he should have, because it didn't feel like they were getting back.
He's already with Scarlett Johansson.
He's not. They just fuck.
Okay, that's better.
I don't know. But then also the reviewer from the fucking beginning of the movie that
goes to the food truck and likes it.
He goes to the food truck, he likes it, and he offers to be his business partner. I'm like, oh, so you're just going to go back to being in the same fucking scenario you were in at the beginning of the movie? Working at a restaurant that you have no control over?
Is that what it is?
It's like they become business partners and not just like a hiring thing, but it's still like there's another guy who can argue with you about the menu. It's like, fuck off.
Yeah.
Yeah, so anyways, the movie's like an 8.
Okay.
All right, what if?
Yeah.
There's a spoiler time, by the way, guys.
Spoiler time. Also, there was already spoilers for Chef.
That's a fucking 7-year-old movie at this point, and it's just like, it's more of like watching it.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're doing 3 and 4 of What If, and then we're fully spoiling Shang-Chi.
Yep.
But we're just going to talk about what we liked in the movie.
Yeah, mostly.
Yeah.
So What If episode 3 was what if all the Avengers were murdered.
Yeah, that was pretty fun.
That was a cool ep.
It was also interesting where it's like, did you have any inkling of who it could be?
Okay, I did at one point. Like, I was like a little bit early.
Was it, okay, which kill do you think you took a guess at?
I want to say Hulk.
That one makes more. Yeah, that would be one where it's like, how? I literally had no idea. I was just yeah, whatever.
You know what? It was like I got an inkling. I was like, maybe it's fucking Hank Pym at Hulk, because I'm like, who else exists in the universe that can do this? That like would. Until
I like the mistake thing, like, you know, when Black Widow like stabs him in the neck. I thought it was like, oh, maybe she missed. Maybe it's like some otherworldly force that like is fucking with it, and it's not Hank Pym going through, because in this alternate universe, Hope Van Dyne became a fucking agent and died in the line of duty. And the same with like fucking Jeremy Renner killing
Hawkeye.
fucking Thor.
That's like the biggest bullshit. Is like an arrow killed Thor.
Yeah,
one
absolutely.
arrow.
Yeah, one arrow to the heart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's been shot by bullets. Bullets are stronger than arrows.
Not Hawkeye's arrows, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was cool. The Hank Pym reveal was good. The fucking fight at the end.
That was rad.
Do you think actually that that could be the part 1 of the episode where they go later and it's like a bunch of different Avengers? Also, I feel like based on what we know of Captain Marvel, I feel like she could handle the entire situation by herself.
Yeah, but they're gonna also unfreeze our boy Rogers.
Provided that it also isn't the
We know for a fact it's not,
oh yeah, you're right, the shield was the
because it was a portal.
I think they'll unfreeze Rogers, but isn't there like a what if scenario where Steve Rogers also gets like mystical powers?
I don't think.
Like he gets the Doctor Strange abilities. Wasn't that like a what if they did one time?
They did that for Iron Man once in the comics.
I think they've done it. You know what? Let's move on from that. Anyways, exciting. I hope that episode gets a part 2.
I figured it out. By the way, like I was like thinking it was him. Like I was like thinking of who it could be during the Hawkeye death, and then I was like, oh, probably maybe Ant-Man during like Hulk's death, and then it was like 100% when it's like it's about Hope. I was like, oh, Hope Van Dyne.
Oh, actually, yeah. Once they said Hope, I'm like, yeah, I got it.
Hope Van Dyne.
Yeah,
it's Ant-Man.
Yeah.
That was cool. I liked that Poison Ivy was Black Widow in that.
Yeah.
It was like Belle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guys, it's Mephisto.
Yeah. So the next episode of What If was the What If Doctor Strange lost his heart instead of his hands.
Did you know it was going to go in that direction? Because as soon as I read the title, my first inclination was Iron Man. I took it so literally.
That's so funny. No, I was like, oh, who is this? I knew it was like metaphorical, but I was like not sure. And then I was like, oh, of course, it's his girlfriend. They got everybody back for this one, which is why everybody's like, this is going to affect the movie.
You know what was weird?
Yeah.
About Benedict Cumberbatch's voice the whole time?
What?
Literally thought he was Chris Parnell sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, you know, the other actor.
Yeah.
Dr. Leo Spaceman.
Yeah. But that's how his voice sounds in the movie too.
I think he has like a
Dormammu,
deeper,
I've come to bargain.
He has a deeper register in real life. For voice work, it was more like high. He was just going higher.
Might have just been the way they record.
Yeah, sure, probably. Yeah, he's like Dormammu, I have come to bargain. Where it's like Chris Parnell would be like Dormammu, I have come to bargain.
Yeah. Yeah, Chris Parnell. Chris Parnell
is also Jerry from Rick and Morty.
But yeah, this episode slapped. Again, a lot of people are like, "This is going to affect Multiverse of Madness." Like, it had the entire cast compared to every other episode of this show so far, which had most but not all.
Yeah, I did like how it ended with like, "Oh no!" Once again, this is just a fucked universe.
Yeah. He's alone. He's the only living person in the entire universe.
Yeah, and he's like yelling at the Watcher to help him. Yeah. Also, the first time someone actually recognizes the Watcher is there.
Yeah, like the first time we get to see him as like a being. Even like we always only saw him in like the silhouette with a space behind him.
Yeah, now we get to see his big purple man.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, he's black.
Is he?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, he's just because it's Jeffrey Wright voicing him instead of, but normally Uatu is white, but it's Jeffrey.
I thought he was a purple man.
No, he's not purple. Huh. He's black. It's like in a purple location. That's the lighting.
I think he wears purple as well.
No, he wore white.
Bro, I looked him up recently when I was talking to someone in my Discord, and he's like, "Who voices the Watcher?" And I'm like, "Oh, Jeffrey Wright." He's like, oh, "Okay, cool." And I looked it up, and the picture they gave me. It thinks I'm trying to spell YouTube.
U-A-T-U?
You're right, he is white. Fuck you.
He's normally white, but he's black in the show.
Well, that is still like a silhouette thing.
No. Like when you see him become in person, you can see like he's black. He's got darker skin.
It still just looks like it's the darkness of space reflecting off of him, but I'm fine with him if he's black. I don't care.
The actor's black, so it would make sense, especially if they ever want him to show up in an actual movie.
They could just also use a giant CG creation because he does have a huge head.
Yeah, but it'd be... I don't know.
I'm just fucking...
How would you feel...
What?
How would you feel to get because they definitely have him do the mocap because that's usually what Marvel does.
Yeah. Thanos.
Wouldn't it be weird to have like a black guy show up to mocap a white guy? That'd be so weird.
God of War.
You're right. You're right.
Yeah, so I'm just still. How many episodes is the season?
I want to say like 8.
8. So we're
halfway
getting
through.
closer to the
Yeah.
to Killmonger episode.
Yeah. And we do know from the trailer that this Doctor Strange episode's coming back because there's a scene in the trailer where Captain Carter and this version of Doctor Strange with the new different cape and the fucked up face meet up. And they both fought the same tentacle boy. Yeah. So there's some continuity. That's another reason why people are like, this Doctor Strange is going to be in Multiverse of Madness. And some people are theorizing that this Doctor Strange is the Doctor Strange that's in Spider-Man No Way Home, because if you notice in the trailer for Spider-Man No Way Home, Strange never shakes his hand. Even though in all the other, in Infinity War, Thor Ragnarok, and Endgame, even when he's doing the one, his hand's fucked up.
I always used to think that was because, so you know the guy,
Yeah.
the reason why he gets put on the path,
Yeah.
because the guy says like he went and learned the techniques and now he uses it every day to regulate his spine or whatever so he can walk.
Yeah.
I just sometimes think about it like Doctor Strange, when he isn't doing the magic, he just keeps his hand steady.
He's able to.
Yeah, except then
But he's doing the magic.
But as soon as he starts to use magic, it's like,
Yeah.
I think he can, I think he can do some semblance of like moving. It could literally also just be an oversight.
Yeah, it's just they've been consistent throughout the previous movies even. Like even in Endgame when he does the one, he's shaking his hand.
Yeah, but when they filmed that, like when they filmed all that, that could have been around the time they first did Doctor Strange. Like maybe Benedict Cumberbatch like forgot. And the director just didn't remember to fucking tell him.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's possible, but I also like people doing insane theories because it's fun.
I do as well. It's funny. I think also that fucking trailer. I think I said it earlier on the podcast, like not this week, but in a previous episode, where I was like, "Yeah, if he just had a conversation about how the spell worked right before,
yeah,
could have worked." Yeah. So that's What If.
Yeah.
Shang-Chi,
baby.
Full spoilers.
Fuck yeah, that movie rules.
1, that joke about him being like a fuck up at the beginning.
Yeah.
Very obvious.
Yeah. Like, what do you mean? Which one?
The one where he's like in bed and he's like getting all dressed up. He's like wearing a suit. He rolls out of bed. He starts working out.
Yeah.
Fucking ripped. I'm Simu Liu. I'm from Kim's Convenience.
Oh, and then the supercar shows up and it's a different guy.
It's a different Asian guy.
But it makes sense because lives in a garage.
Was that a garage?
Yeah, you can see the garage door.
Oh, I didn't see the garage door.
Yeah.
I just looked at him like, oh, it looks like a small studio.
Yeah. No, it's a garage.
Yeah. Yeah, that's like.
But it is kind of fun.
Yeah.
I think this movie rules. So the beginning.
Is that how it opened, or did we get to? Oh no, we got to see the 10 rings. It opened with the 10
rings,
where he was being Genghis Khan. Yeah.
Yeah, and then we got the cool dance wuxia fight scene, which I liked. I'm
with
more with his wife.
Yeah.
I'm more for things that are extremely earnest and aren't trying to like justify themselves or make fun of themselves in Marvel movies.
Elaborate.
So like a lot of Marvel movies are like, haha, isn't this thing that's happening crazy and weird? We also agree it's weird. Don't worry, audience. We're not being earnest. We're being a little bit ironic about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like the wuxia scene, that's like, it's very earnest. It's like, here is a scene of two people who are karate fighting that's like a dance and they're falling in love.
I think it's more he's falling in love.
Well, both of them are falling in love.
I don't know. I didn't get the vibe. I think she definitely felt something from him.
Yeah.
But the scene mostly focused on him going like,
well, he's the main character of the scene.
You're right.
Yeah, like it's because he survives.
Yeah. I think it was really funny how they did it. I think it was really like cool and beautiful how they went around with it.
Yeah.
I love the slow motion shots where it's like, let's look at Tony Leung just go like,
yeah.
Yeah,
it's very like you like I want to get people to like allow themselves to enjoy things that are like kind of larger than life without having to like justify them with a joke. Like, because I think it just works. Like, I think it's just cool, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's cool. They don't say where he got the 10 rings from. They're like, legend has it he picked it up from a fucking meteorite or from a tomb. And it's like, okay, cool. We don't know what it is. And that's kind of what the post-credit scene is saying.
Yeah, that they are from somewhere. It's just everyone talking about when they're going to get there.
I know.
I just said 10 as just an easy.
Yep.
Also, apparently Blake just got there. Chris and Emma aren't there.
Chris and Emma are there or aren't there?
Aren't.
Okay.
So I think it's just George and Emily there.
Okay.
So, yeah, then we go to he is a
modern day San Francisco.
We get to meet his best friend, Awkwafina, or Nora from Queens.
Yeah.
Which honestly,
she's
I didn't watch Awkwafina as Nora from Queens.
Yeah.
I'm not very familiar with Awkwafina.
Yeah.
So the whole time I was like, who is this actress?
Yeah.
I literally don't know her. I was just sitting there like, she has a funny voice.
I like her. She's great.
You know what I thought was a really odd, like a thing I think they definitely did it on purpose, but it's also in character.
Yeah.
When she is dressed in her like clothes that she likes to wear.
Yeah.
She looks like a little more like frumpy.
She does. Okay, that's just her.
That's just her. Because at the end when she's in like,
she has such a weird posture.
She looks. She's also like, she looks like she's
yeah,
plus sized.
Yeah, she's not like plus size, but she's.
But
like,
I'm saying the way or she carries herself and how she looks, and like the high collar and shit doesn't help. But then at the end of the movie, when she's like in the battle kimono and shit, or I guess it's a kipao because it's Chinese.
Wow. You're so much better than me. I was just gonna say robe, but
yeah.
Sure.
I only know that from Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, okay.
Because Chi-Chi wears those, and so do some Naruto characters. So fucking she wears that, and then it's like, oh, now she's slim, and you can see her neck is very actually slender.
I think she's just like.
She's just carrying herself more confidently because she's also going through a journey of like. Yeah. Figuring out what she wants to do, which I thought was funny because she knocks so fucking much. Yeah. Everyone else is just like. Very quiet and stoic.
I like her. She's like one of the more fun comic relief characters.
She is considering Simu Liu or Shang-Chi.
Yeah.
Sean.
Yeah.
Is very down to earth.
Yeah.
In character.
It's good because she like helps ground him.
He's like already kind of grounded.
Yeah.
But she's also there to be like, yo, Sean, this is crazy, and he's like, I'm aware.
Yes. I like their like. Chemistry, they're like the two actors. I was like, I kind of want them to fuck. Like
they're definitely gonna fuck.
Yeah,
like no question about.
That's my thing. Is like I'm like men and women can be platonic friends, and I want to see more of that in movies. But also they have good chemistry, and I want to see them kiss.
Chris Evans and Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah,
I know they tried to do something
where it was like, I don't like that for them, but like. They have good chemistry together as friends, and I'm like that works for those two characters as well. But like these two characters, I'm like. I want to see them kiss. They're like good enough friends that I do want to see them.
Yeah, and it's like it's the childhood friends trope is why it's like they've known each other for so long.
But also because like you don't tend to see a character as tomboyish as fucking Awkwafina's character get the hot guy.
Yeah, but also
very frequently.
But tomboys are based.
Yeah,
because the thing about tomboys, is that. It's this old 4chan post about why tomboys are superior to every other woman. Yeah. And it's definitely like, a Ramona Flowers sort of take. But it's like, they do the things that guys do. But then when you get them all dressed up, whoa! They're a woman underneath all that, but then they'll still party and hang. It's like...
It's like, okay.
It is like, it's definitely like...
Women who don't dress tomboyish can also be cool.
No, but it's the manic pixie dream girl ification of tomboys.
Yeah.
But it's just like...
Sir, I'm pretty sure you sat behind your computer too long.
I sit there and I'm like, you're fucking right though, buddy.
I don't know. I'd say most of our women friends aren't very tomboyish, but are like pretty rad.
I would say I actually described all of our friends to Destiny as being prep. And then she got here and looked at how all of us dressed, and she's like, "Yeah, that makes sense."
Yeah.
She looked at me. She's like, "You're a fucking emo kid. The rest of your friends are like prep kids." So
yeah,
emo.
You painted your nails just for her, you fucking slut.
I painted my nails before she got here.
Yeah, so that you'd have them painted when she got here.
I always wanted to paint my fucking nails.
Yeah, but also you're a slut.
My nails look like shit. I literally painted these yesterday, and they're already fucked.
Yeah.
Should have done war coats.
I'm just saying, you did it. You did it because girl was coming, and you can admit that to me as friends.
I will not. I've wanted to paint my nails for a long time.
Yeah, and you did it because a girl was coming to see you.
I think I actually did it 2 weeks before because I
did
remember.
not.
No, I think I did because I was at my fucking family's house. My family was asking me if I was gay because that's how my family is.
Yeah.
My mom. My sister was cool. One of them was.
Yeah.
The one who's closer to me.
Yeah.
In age.
We love her.
Yeah, everyone does.
Yeah.
George loves her the most.
Yeah. I said
I think it's because they're the same
like
age.
our friends. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna have probably when we finally get around to having a house party, I'll probably invite her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so shit pops off on the bus scene. God, that was a really cool action scene.
Awesome action.
I love
throughout this movie. It's really good.
But also straight up kung fu shit.
Yeah.
The way he like is constantly fighting, and he's like his like the part when he like takes his jacket, he's using it to beat the shit out of the people. That is so Jackie Chan.
Yeah,
like
dude,
that's so like 60s.
You know how you were
Kong
like,
Kong.
we saw the fucking like in loving memory of this person.
Yeah.
So he was the stunt choreographer, the fight scene choreographer for this movie. He was a member of the Jackie Chan fight choreography group.
Oh, okay.
And he passed away between this movie being made and it coming out.
Oh, okay. That sucks.
Yeah. So he did a fucking fantastic job on this flick, dude. It's like that scene on the scaffolding where he does like other Jackie Chan, makes a guy into a bridge, right? And he's tossing people out. That scene's sick.
It's like it's one of those things where it's like comedic but also tense, where it's like, whoa, this guy's about to die, but also he's like, I'm gonna make this man a bridge.
Yeah.
So many people died in that scene.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I killed one man in my backstory.
Oh, also we have
I throw this guy out of a bus in the bus scene.
Yeah, but he probably rolled in just the right way where he didn't snap his neck.
He went through the glass window of a bus and landed on the pavement.
And we also missed the actual. We talked about this earlier.
Yeah.
The most crass joke in all of Marvel Cinematic history.
My mom wishes that
was
woman
the kind
came
of
out.
No, I think she said that's the kind of Asian who came out of her vagina.
Yeah. That was the kind of kid who came out of her vagina.
And then on the way home, we were out loud, not arguing, because we were in agreement that Awkwafina definitely kept saying pussy.
Yeah, almost certainly.
Yeah. And they were like, please.
Yeah, so I think that's like the most crass joke in a fucking Marvel movie, and it's funny. It made me laugh in the theater.
Yeah, it was good. You were like the loudest laugh in the theater.
I was not.
Oh, you know what was unexpected to me?
What?
The fight with Wong against that guy who can't fucking
Abomination?
Yeah, against Abomination.
Yeah.
I honestly thought Wong was gonna fucking and actually I didn't know that was Wong in the fucking arena.
Yeah.
Because I didn't watch the trailer super hard. So that was funny. And then also that he wins.
Yeah, because he puts the guy's arm through the portal.
He makes him punch himself. That was so funny.
Yeah. He does call him a meal, so it is Abomination from Incredible Hulk. And on top of that, so one of the things I didn't notice, but that people online pointed out, so when they're walking past the fights, and you see there's like the woman fighting the glowing guy, right?
Yeah.
So the glowing guy obviously is like an extremist soldier from Iron Man 3, but the woman is the same actress who played one of the freed Black Widows in Black Widow.
Really?
So her story is that she left the Black Widow program.
There's a really fucking good one I've just remembered.
What?
Because you're talking about callbacks. The guy who films the fight scene on the bus is the Spider-Man duo flip guy from Homecoming.
That too.
Hey, Spider-Man, do a flip. And he's like, hey guys, coming at you live.
I actually took some martial arts when I was a young kid, so I could. Yeah.
That was so good.
That's funny because that joke. So I'm talking about like let badass things be badass as well in the MCU. Like don't undercut some cool shit.
Yeah.
And I think that joke's perfect because it doesn't undercut the cool shit, but it's realistic because people film bus fights all the fucking time.
Yeah. And it does open some doors for him later on.
And it makes sense in the plot.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Yeah.
I liked the guy at the arena place. He was cool.
John.
Yeah, John.
Yeah.
He's great.
He was fun. Now he's a villain. Ooh.
Well, yeah.
What a surprise.
But yeah, that was cool. I just like the idea of like this woman's an ex-Black Widow and this guy's got extremists and they're in a fight and it's just in the background of this movie.
Also, if this was if I'm gonna straight up say this, if this wasn't trying to like ape fucking like classic
Kung Fu movies,
that thing I said about their dad.
Yeah.
Being well, let's just keep. I'm going to call him the Mandalorian because
You mean the Mandarin?
Mandarin. Sorry. The Mandarin. They had the same fucking beginning.
All right.
Okay, the Mandarin.
Yeah.
If this was not, if they weren't trying to like,
Yeah.
do classic kung fu movies, he absolutely would just be lying to them in that scene about like, oh, I'm trying to get your mother back or something.
Yeah.
He would just be actually like, oh, I'm just actually trying to destroy the village and take their power because I'm just back to how I used to be. But instead, it's like, no, he's misguided and a demon
I
from.
actually liked that a lot. I like that he's the villain, but you get like
once they actually once you actually found out for real that it is not true.
Yeah.
That his mother is not trapped behind there.
Yeah.
She is dead.
It's so tragic.
It is a demon. It's like, oh, yeah, no, that's sick.
Yeah. Like, you're like, oh, this is, like, sad as fuck. Like, and, like, awesome. Like, Tony Leung, I get, like, I'm glad they gave him something more meaty to work with, because it'd be annoying to have him be, like, every actress who plays a superhero's girlfriend, where it's like, I'm an Oscar-nominated actress playing some fucker's girlfriend, Gwyneth Paltrow. Like... Where you're like, give her something to do, man. Like,
yeah,
she's talented. Like, I don't like Gwyneth Paltrow as a person, but she's a talented actress. But like, Tony Leung gets to play this villain that, like, more than anything, I think more than any other villain in the MCU is like really like sympathetic. Like, you're like, yeah, he's this huge piece of shit that like did colonialism for thousands of years, but also is a person who legitimately loves his family. Like,
and he gave up the concept of being immortal,
to have one,
to die with his wife, and also to watch his kids grow old and have it be like normal, and also hand down the reins to his son.
And that's like, it's legitimately like really sweet. Like, I'm like, damn, this is fucking good.
And then also the scenes where it like makes it look like, because the only scene you see is his mom telling him the story, and he gets the necklace, and then it cuts to him being immediately indoctrinated, or like thrown into like training,
his ass kicked,
or being abused as a child, and it like really, it with the fucking breakneck speed that happens, it makes it look like his dad was always a piece of shit.
And then you get other scenes throughout the movie in the flashbacks that you're like, oh, actually, there's like a lot more complex to this character, which I liked. I liked that Trevor Slattery came back. Ben Kingsley.
Oh yeah,
he's so funny. Like,
Ben Kingsley was so funny in this. Yeah, and Maurice. The faceless fucking like rabbit with bug bird wings. And he's like, oh, he knows how to get us in there.
That's great.
I like during the montage part when they were all like training and shit, where like his sister was training how to use the fucking like the rope dart shit. And then he's like learning kung fu, but also
he's learning the airbending thing.
And then it cuts to Awkwafina is like getting really good with the bow, and she's going like, fucking poggers. But then it cuts to Ben Kingsley, and he's being a referee for a soccer game.
That was great.
I like to think that they obviously left. Straight up, Ben Kingsley just stayed there. There's no fucking way they like he's just living in that town now.
Almost certainly.
I think Laser Fist might also just stay.
Razor
Fist as like atonement. He's like, we fucked up.
Let
us help you rebuild.
Razor Fist was cool. I liked him.
Yeah, he went from being like, this is a dumbass character to like, I like this guy. His car was so stupid.
I love that it has my favorite was in the theater, Ian was like, saw the license plate and was like, haha, Razor Fast. I was like, it's Razor Fist. It's the guy with the knife hand. And you're like, oh.
And then they get in the car and it says Razor Fist.
My car.
I feel like there was a faster four-door they could have got in though. Yeah.
But it wasn't funny.
I also like the joke where they're like sitting there. Maurice is no, not Maurice. Trevor Slattery is talking about the fucking Planet of the Apes.
That was so funny.
Only Ben Kingsley could sell that fucking.
But they weren't riding horses. They were just acting.
They were just monkeys acting like they were riding horses, and they were like, "You think that these were monkeys?" Riding horses. And then it's like he's sitting there. It's like, so when's this gate gonna open? It's like Maurice says that it happens whenever it happens.
No. He's like Maurice is attached to the beings of all things. I'm only translating, but his true intellect is completely unknown. Oh, he says, "Go now." Oh no,
he's like, "Oh, go now." And she's like, "What? Start driving. Go now." I was like how like Awkwafina got really like she got the timing right after the first time where he was just like take a right and she's like right where? And he's like just take a right.
Take a hard right now.
And then he's like right, left, hard right.
Yeah.
It just worked out.
Drive faster.
Yeah.
Those are good. Yeah. It's a fucking good movie, dude.
Honestly, I would never want to go through that path again, so I'd like recruit Wong to be like, can you just help me real quick?
Zip me in.
Get to the gate.
Yeah. Really solid. I loved the ending where they summed the whole thing up to their friends.
Oh, yeah, and she's like, I get it. You're fucking with me.
Yeah, and then Wong shows up.
Yeah, I like where he's like, Shang-Chi? Shang-Chi? Is he here? And he's like, oh, that's me. He's like, you need to come with me. You, come on,
yeah,
too.
you come too.
Don't know why Awkwafina.
Then he grabs a bite.
He like walks over and like...
Or grabs a drink.
He downs her fucking whiskey.
Yeah.
And then...
No, I think it was like a sangria or something. Like,
I think it was darker. I think it was whiskey.
Oh, but it was in like a little...
You can get whiskey in those glasses.
Yeah, they just don't usually.
They were at a fucking San Francisco bar. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And then we fucking get...
Do you know what's fucked up?
We get the cameos in the movie.
Yeah.
Which is Mark Ruffalo.
Post-credit. Mark Ruffalo back as Normal Man Hulk.
And
his arms
Marvel's
still
there.
fucked
Who
up.
cares?
Brie Larson, Captain Marvel, baby.
Yeah.
So the thing that's cool... Fuck you. You just hate women.
Yes.
The thing that's cool
They have to be in subservient roles like Awkwafina.
So the director of this movie, whose name I forget because I'm an asshole.
Brian something.
No, it's like Destin Daniel something. Cretin. Yeah.
Just go on.
Okay. So every feature-length film he's made has featured Brie Larson in it, and this one he also features Brie Larson because he did Short Term 12 and Just Mercy and
Destin Daniel Cretin.
That's Destin Daniel Cretin. I was pretty close. But yeah, so he did Short Term 12, which I would argue is the movie that made that set Brie Larson on the path to like being a really well liked actress.
Yeah,
What?
sure.
Brie Larson. What's wrong with fucking Brie Larson, dude?
I'm a overly sensitive man, and she one time at Comic-Con said, "Can we get a woman to ask a question, please?" I think that's offensive.
I think Brie Larson's great. I like her a lot.
That's just an argument that me and this guy got all the time, and I just think it's funny.
Yeah, I think Brie Larson's great.
I don't think she's great as Captain Marvel. I think that character falls really flat in that movie, but we talked about
yeah, well, in the first Captain Marvel, yeah. I'm hyped to see more of her, though, because I think she's a great actress.
I think she just needs to actually bring more life into that character, because she just kind of seemed, honestly, to me, she was an unlikable cunt.
I think she was, like, fine, but not great.
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
I think that movie's just not great.
Yeah, that's just it.
Yeah.
Like, it's just
and
fine.
then she didn't really do anything to help her performance.
Yeah.
I think there was one funny moment in that fucking movie,
Yeah.
though, where Samuel L. Jackson, they reveal that the reason why he has missing an eye is because a cat clawed his eye.
Yeah.
Cat monster.
The Flarkin.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's great in a lot of stuff, including Short Term 12 and a lot of other movies, and Room, and Glass Castle, which also was done by this guy.
Not going to take any of those away from her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think I liked her as Captain Marvel in this, when she does that bit of like, oh, sorry, Bruce will give you my number. I never got our number.
She does that all the time. I don't have her number. I think that was kind of funny.
Yeah.
But I think Mark Ruffalo sold the joke part of it more. But there's hints there of her being like not an airhead, but like a busy woman.
Yeah, like a person.
Yeah.
Or even just somebody who likes to fuck with people.
She felt kind of like infallible.
Yeah.
Fucking Captain Marvel.
I think Captain Marvel was a movie made by people who didn't know how to make a movie like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I think it's a movie where it's
because that's what I feel. Because
that movie feels like we're not part of your fucking boys club, and then it's like you made the worst movie in the boys club, though.
Yeah, it's like there's good elements of that movie, and I think even Brie Larson does a great job. Like, I think everybody puts in a lot of work, like, especially when you find out that Brie Larson shot all of her parts in Endgame before she shot Captain Marvel. Like, but within, like, 10 days or whatever. She didn't even get a break. But, so, like, you're like, oh, shit, like, that's fucked up. Like,
so is Captain... Well, okay, what happened first? The shooting for Captain Marvel or for Endgame?
Shooting for Endgame.
So, she got a haircut?
She wears a different wig in both movies.
Does she usually have short hair, or was the short hair the wig?
The short hair was probably the wig.
That's weird. I was just feeling.
Or wait, I think she has mid-length hair, and they were maybe both wigs.
Maybe whatever. Yeah, but then we get the best joke in the movie.
Yeah,
when they're like,
oh, so you two should go get some rest because you're part of this fucked up world now.
This was a callback to
earlier when they do the same thing. Or
and then they go, yeah,
they're living up in the Hotel California.
Yeah, the fucking bit of, and then Benedict Wong is there as well.
Yeah, that's so funny.
Such a lovely place, such a lovely face.
So good. And then the second post-credit scene where it's like, she didn't take apart the fucking 10 rings. She's the leader.
Whoa!
The 10 rings
It's not ever gonna fucking matter.
So here's the thing. Here's the thing I've heard people are like, this could be what happens. Disney Plus show, fucking martial arts tournament run by the 10 rings. TV
interesting.
show.
That's more interesting.
That would fucking slap.
Shonen fucking battle
tournament arc. Just get a bunch of random like B-list characters who fight in the tournament.
Get even C-listers. Like,
yeah, B and C-listers.
Yeah, and make them become like a part of the 10 rings. Have the 10 rings be like, we do evil things, but we're not bad people. That they always try and do.
We're like
crime
organizations.
We're a crime organization, but we don't do anything. We don't.
It's like
people.
The Winter Soldier and Valkyrie and like all these people in a fight tournament. That'd be sick.
That would be kind of funny, actually.
Right? That'd be fucking cool.
Especially if it's like Valkyrie, who's just like, I got tired of being queen.
She did fight tournament shit, so it's like,
yeah,
she could do other fight tournament shit, like. And then, like, maybe Shang-Chi, or maybe not. Like, I like him. I'd like to see more of him.
Maybe he shows up at the end and he's like, this is what the fuck you're doing now?
Yeah.
You're just doing the shit you used to do, but on a bigger scale. It's the dark tournament arc in Yu Yu Hakusho.
Yeah, I mean, or you could just do, like, and then you could probably... I think they would probably bring back Abomination and Wong because, like, they were in this
what
movie.
I did not vibe with?
What?
I like the shirt that he is wearing. The dragon shirt as, like, his superhero outfit. Didn't like that he was just still wearing his pants.
He's not. He's wearing different pants.
They just look like black skinny jeans.
They're just black pants.
They just look like the same thing.
I like that outfit though. Yeah,
but the shoes are an interesting touch. That's like fine. It just seems weird that it's like they are wearing like they're wearing like like a specially made battle armor, like him and his sister.
Did you like that that Awkwafina called the move he did to kill the big soul sucker a Kamehameha fireball?
Yeah,
it's
great. But then like the pants, I was just like, why none of the other people are wearing pants? And they were wearing like the monk pants that like fucking what Aang wears in Avatar. Like I kind of.
But he was wearing thinner pants because they wanted him to look hotter in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same with his sister. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, why was hers white? No one else had white armor.
Because the hers and his both came from their mother.
But it was crafted from the same shit that.
Yeah.
I know it didn't.
But
come
it was
from
special.
Her.
She left it for them.
No, she asked them to be made for them.
Yeah. So they got special ones that are different from everybody else's
but
because
why
they're the main
is
characters
white?
of the
Did
village.
Did they dye them white?
Yes.
Stupid.
His is red.
So is everyone else's.
But different red.
I'm just saying, have a different color in the background as well. That it's like, oh, that's why hers is white because it's a different kind of armor or something.
It's just white, dude. It's a fucking piece of clothing.
Yeah, but that means they painted it. Everything else is red, but then they're like, let's paint this woman's white.
Yeah.
Stupid.
It's fine.
Dumb.
Okay, I really like Shang-Chi. It's like one of my newer faves in the Marvel movies.
Yeah, it's definitely I'd rewatch it.
Yeah.
I probably will rewatch it when it comes out on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is cool. I liked it.
Yeah.
I would have people over and be like, watch this. It's
8
cool.
out of 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say 8 out of 10 is pretty reasonable. If we're using the sliding Marvel scale, it's not like my 10 out of 10 faves, but I really liked it.
You're saying it's not breaching your top 10?
No, so what I'm saying is if we're using like if like a 10 is the best Marvel movie and a 1 is the worst Marvel movie, because like normally the scale is fine to like pretty dang great.
Yeah.
But if we're talking like fine is 1 and pretty dang great is 10, it's an 8, maybe a 9.
Yeah. On the Marvel scale, yeah.
Yeah, on the Marvel scale. Like, 10 would be Ragnarok.
It's not just it's the Marvel scale. Fast and the Furious exists on the Marvel scale.
Yeah, like a 10 is Ragnarok, is what I mean, right?
10
like,
is Ragnarok, Winter Soldier.
Yeah. For me, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
That's like a 9 for me.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're allowed to have different spots on
No,
this
we
one.
aren't. Fuck you.
I would say like a 9. 9 is like both Spider-Mans. Or I would say are 9s.
I would put first Spider-Man at an 8.
Yeah.
Civil War is probably a 9 for me.
I would put Civil War at an 8. Because Civil War has like that airport scene. The CGI is like kind of not good.
Oh, that was
and,
also
like,
a thing
it's
I
not
kind of
well done.
in Shang-Chi.
Yeah.
There was some moments where I was like looking at the CGI around and I'm like,
This is like kind of...
it's lacking.
Yeah.
It was fine, but also, you know what I think the problem is?
What?
Video games are starting to look too good.
Yeah.
It's like the video games, the better
like, "This
video
looks like
games
a
start
video
to
game."
look, the better video games start to look, the closer like the CG shit you see in Marvel movies is just
Yeah.
like, I know what I fucking see that's a green screen.
Yeah.
I know it all is a green screen already, but come on.
Well, like, yeah, obviously like the bus scene was green screen, but they did some good on location stuff here. A little bit. Like a lot of the San Francisco stuff like was clearly in San Francisco.
Well, they're the pickup shots. They
Yeah.
filmed a lot. They filmed in Ontario, so
Yeah.
Toronto. So they definitely had to film fucking.
No, they probably filmed it in... Did they really film it in Ontario? Or
there was a part that said Ontario Creates. So
Yeah,
unless
that's usually the VFX.
Ontario Creates is just what you fucking put there when you have filmed the movie in Ontario, though.
No, it's usually for anything. Like it's VFX.
Okay, fine. It could
Probably.
be that as well. But normally when you do a major city thing and you need to like fuck up an
Yeah.
entire street, Toronto just lets you do it. Where
Yeah.
other cities will be like, I don't know, man. We can't just keep having construction everywhere.
Yeah, it's just the street was too slopey to be in Ontario.
I'm saying it's something minor, like the fucking scene at
Yeah.
the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or even when they're like just walking down the road.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
I liked Shang-Chi though.
Yes, it was good.
A solid movie.
Yeah.
Check it out if you haven't seen it. Check it out again.
Hopefully
if
you
have.
did not listen to this and have not
I don't
seen
care.
it.
Maybe you did. Maybe you like to hear how movies are before you watch them, and that's
Yeah.
fine too. And I'm telling you, you'll probably like this one. All right. Thank you so much for listening and/or watching to this podcast. If you want to find this podcast, you can go to youtube.com/NAScomedy, where they're all video versions. Otherwise, we are available on every podcast service you can think of, including stuff like Spotify and Apple Podcasts. One thing I found out this week, Ian, so I didn't know how to find reviews on Apple Podcasts, and I did. And what do you want to know what our guess? So the average is of like 1 to 5 stars. But there's like decimal points, but you don't have to guess perfect. But guess what our average score is?
1.2.
Nope, we're 5.
Woo!
Only 5-star reviews.
Kings.
There's only 2 reviews though.
Yeah, but that's both 5s.
I'll take it. There was no as far as I could tell, there was no written section to the review. So otherwise I would have read it on the podcast because I think that would have been funny. But yeah, so if you want to leave us a review, and if I can find it, we can. Dude, stop watching TikTok. We're on the podcast still.
What? You can't hear it.
Yes, you can.
No, you can't.
You 100% can.
No, you can't.
And you can see that you're looking at your phone.
And?
In the video.
And?
And you look like an asshole.
And?
That's it.
Wrap it up.
Okay.
We have somewhere
Fucking
to
leave
be.
us a review. Fucking, if you want to follow me, I'm at The Media Hole on Twitter, at The Media Hole on TikTok, twitch.tv/The Media Hole, and www.whenyourballs.tumblr.com. If you want to follow Ian, he's at StrugglesV on everything. He recently came under fire for saying that that if you don't know whether or not you're pregnant by 6 weeks, you're 100% a whore. So that's bad.
You
Maybe
usually
don't follow
lie
him.
about things I've said.
Yeah. Anyway, see ya.